Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the Signal leak, the Signal app leak. Somehow a journalist got on the app, and the guy who arranged it talking about, oh, I don't know how he got there. His name was in place of someone else's name. I'm not quite sure I believe that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Department of Education. Do we need that on the federal level? I think not. If anyone can tell me how education has improved since 1979, when the DOE was introduced, I'd be open to hear it. I'd love to hear anyone's argument for that. As far as I know, we've gotten dumber. You ask regular normies in the street, hey, what's 1 + 1? They're going to say 45. I have no idea. Matter of fact, you say, what's 1 + 1? They're going to say Jupiter. What's 1 + 1? Alaska. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, yet another hate hoax with a noose. I don't think I've ever seen a real story involving a black person and a noose as long as I've been living. Maybe it's something in the history book, but not anything that's happened since 1984 when I was born. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, felons could get their gun rights, more felons than have before. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yes, indeed. We got a whole lot going on tonight. Shout out to you guys for being here. I really appreciate y'all. There's a whole lot going on. Oh, this whole thing with Signal. Listen, anything that happens, any kind of mishap, any kind of mistake, anything like that that happens under Trump will be magnified to the fullest. And y'all already know what it is. Whenever Biden did anything wrong, Biden could fall on the floor. You could see his hind parts in the air, feet up in the air. He got these horseshoes on the bottom of his feet, right? He got all of that going on. We're seeing the bottom of his feet. We're seeing the tread on the bottom of his shoes up in front of the screen like this consistently. And they say, oh, nah, he has a stutter. A stutter? What's stutter got to do with him being on the floor, though? Like, I'm seeing him trip on the ground. He can barely walk up steps. He can't walk in sand. He can't walk around a slight obstacle. Okay, here is a tube of chapstick. Mr. President, I have a tube of chapstick laid like this, not even the right way, like this. I want you to walk around it. He'll do everything but walk around it. He'll be walking and then trip over that some kind of way, and he'll do a barrel roll on the ground, and then the media would say, oh, he's just fine. This reminds me of when Trump was in office the first time, and he had that bottle of water. No, it wasn't a bottle, pardon me. It was a glass. He had a glass of water, and he held it with two hands. Like he had it on the base and then right here on the side, if I'm not mistaken. They said, oh, this guy's showing signs of aging. He has dementia. Something's wrong with him. I'm like, for real? So if a president falls on the floor repeatedly, it's because he has a stutter. But if the president holds a glass of water with two hands and drinks it, then he needs to get admitted to Walter Reed, be it there with Lloyd Austin secretly. Then they say Pete Hegseth is a downgrade from Lloyd Austin for the defense secretary. For real? So a guy who has prostate cancer or had prostate cancer, hopefully he's good. A guy who had prostate cancer and was so embarrassed, he went AWOL to treat it. That guy right there is better than Pete Hegseth, for real. And how is Pete Hegseth to blame when the guy Mike Waltz set up the actual chat? I don't really understand. You can blame Pete because he's the top dog, but really it wasn't him that did it. If somebody in the administration does something dumb and they get fired, Does that mean that it's Trump's fault that the person did something wrong? If you are a boss, executive, whatever, manager, one of your employees just completely flips it. One day they just turn the switch on and everything goes black. They act a fool. They have to get escorted out by the federales. Does that mean it's the boss's fault for that employee doing that? Nah, it's the employee's fault. Get him up out of here, send him to the penitentiary, make bit rocks to little. It's simple. That's how it's supposed to go. But that's not how it's going to be in this administration with the media. They're going to blame any small thing that happens. They're going to blow it up because truthfully, really, yes, it was a mistake. And you guys are saying Mike Waltz got to go. That'll probably be what happens. Go ahead and fire him and then it'll be over with. But the media want to blow everything up. Just like January 6th. They've been talking about that every day for the past, 4 years now? Since 2021? For some change, they talk about that every day. They done wrote books on it, did TV specials. Is there a January 6th movie? I'm surprised if there's not one. At least a little small budget situation. They might want to put Passion of the Christ kind of money behind a January 6th movie. That's what they really want to do, to drive that division between the left and the right. When really the true debate, the true issue is between regulars and irregulars. Okay. An irregular person weighs 500 pounds and drives some sort of ATV type of gadget, a homemade ATV. You 500 pounds on a homemade ATV and your name is Walmartavius, and I'm not even exaggerating that much. His name is not Walmartavius, but it's kind of close. We'll get to that in a minute. You're 500 pounds in a homemade ATV and you crash into a Cybertruck because you don't like Elon Musk. That is an irregular person. Regular people will see a Cybertruck or a model whatever, Tesla, and even if they don't like Elon, even if they don't like Trump, they're going to keep on walking. Why? Because they're regular people and they're not just trying to destroy things because they're offended at a person. It's totally nuts. But we got a whole lot going on. And shout out to y'all. And yeah, no relation. Tampon Tim Walls is not related to Mike Waltz. And I think their names are spelled differently. I believe Tampon Tim has no T. And, and you know what? That pun fit perfectly. Tampon Tim has no T in his name or in his bloodstream anywhere. Okay, it ain't no testosterone nowhere. My man got a straight up, I don't know what kind of profile he got. He got Tampon Tim and Betty White next to each other. Ain't no difference. But anyway, there's no T in Tampon Tim Waltz's last name, but there is a T in Mike Waltz's last name, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me on that if I'm wrong. But either way, no relation. But I think that it's not going to go too well for Mike. He'll probably end up getting fired because he said it. He said, it's my fault. I don't have a staffer to blame. I don't have anyone else to blame but me. And if he doesn't get fired, he has to successfully explain how Jeffrey Goldberg got on the Signal chat when he was not supposed to be there. Talking about his name or his number got saved under someone else's name who should have been there. How did that happen? How did that happen? Like, you got to be able to explain to me that process. Never have I ever saved someone's contact number under someone else's name that I know. Maybe I might have put in the wrong name when I saved it, but it wasn't like, okay, all right, John, Jacob Hammerschmidt, that's you right there. Okay, I got your name and your number and my phone. All right, now I'm going to add Jeffrey Goldberg to your contact and probably remove all the other numbers. That don't make any sense. Okay, how many other Jeffrey Goldbergs do you know? What Jeffrey Goldberg should have been in the actual chat? If there's more than one Jeffrey Goldberg, you can't make a distinction, because what if I know two guys named Donald Trump? And one of them is the Donald Trump and the other one is not the Donald Trump. Maybe I should put a little bit of a difference in the name. Okay, President Donald Trump versus Normie Donald Trump. Just maybe. I mean, look, I'm not one of these super geniuses that they have in Washington, D.C. I'm no rocket scientist. All right. I'm not that guy, but a little bit of common sense, a pinch, a salt-baked dusting of common sense goes a long way. It goes a long way. And I think that Mike Waltz is discovering that right now. So yeah, shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got a question to ask y'all. Do you believe, I won't do a poll. I'm just asking the question right now. Do you believe that Mike Waltz accidentally put the journalist from the Atlantic in the Signal chat? If you believe that it was an accident, how do you think it happened? Or do you believe that this was done on purpose, that he added the guy in order to leak what was in the actual chat? Now, if you add somebody from the media into a chat about striking Houthi rebels in Yemen, and the strike is real and it actually happens, if you do that on purpose, you got to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. Matter of fact, you got to go to Gitmo immediately, because that's called treason as far as I know. If you leak imminent plans of an attack on a foreign nation to the media on purpose, you got to go. You might as well just hand out the nuclear launch codes. You might as well give up the passwords to all the government agency computer systems. You might as well give that up on the chat if you're going to do something like that on purpose. So again, if it's an accident, how did it happen? And if it's not, hey, that's right, Devin. Big rocks, little rocks. Sheree, Devin, y'all got it. Big rocks to little. It has to happen, in my humble opinion. The media guy flipped on him. That could have happened. That most certainly could have happened. It could have been a thing where the guy was in there and he was able to get information and he didn't say anything, kept it kind of quiet. Then one day, jilted lover style, I'm going to go to the media if you don't come out and tell everybody about us. Well, I don't care, Jeffrey. Go to the media. It could have been something like that. It sounds crazy, but we've seen crazier things in this country. We've seen crazier things in Washington, D.C. Yes, we have. So what I'm saying right now might sound kind of funny, but it's possible. Because explain to me how it happened. You just accidentally put a journalist, out of everybody in the world, a journalist, you put him in there, and a well-known guy that people don't like, a stone cold stomp down leftist. Talking about some, I don't know how the loser got in there. All right, bro, whatever. Okay, whatever. We'll see. And we know that there's been leaks to the media prior to this. There's been different leaks, and people are wondering, how are these things getting leaked? What's going on? Who's the mole? Maybe we've identified the mole. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that for 100% certain without having the evidence. Because if he is a mole, he needs to actually go ahead and get the squad. Not AOC and them, but the other squad. It starts with an F and ends with an I ring. He needs to get that squad ASAP. ASAP. But for the YouTube censors and everybody wanting to flag me, wanting to title tale and get offended, I'm just playing. I'm not being serious. I'm just entertaining. Okay. So don't take it seriously. Don't call the police on me or nothing dumb like that. Okay. If you call the police on me, they all know me. I know the sheriff. I'm gonna be on the phone. He could be like, hey, Anthony, what happened? Man, they on YouTube trying to. All right, man, don't worry about it. Look, we're not gonna come to your house. It's all good. Just chill out a little bit. All right. And then that'd be the end of the conversation. So don't nobody try to call the police, man, because they already know who I am. They know I'm not gonna do nothing crazy. But anyway, we got a whole lot going on. We got a lot to get to. And again, shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. Shout out to the sponsors as always. Shout out to y'all. Without y'all, this would not be possible. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do any of this without you. So shout out to y'all for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. if you like, I'm tripping. I'm reading the comments. patriotpost.us. Their link will always be in the description, or just go to the website, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to ablmerch.com. We got the hats, these right here, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. We got the Novax and the Army Green. My favorite. I love those Army Green ones. That's my absolute favorite. Can I pull up the website right quick? Hold on. Since I'm right here talking about it. And we have more merch on the way. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this. Can we do it this way? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So yeah, go to the website, ABL merch. It's real easy. I try to make it as easy as possible to use. You go to the website, click on what you want, and then just go ahead and add it. Add that to the cart, and you'll be good to go. All right? It's real easy. I don't try to beat you in the head with the prices or try to keep it kind of competitive. You know what I mean? So enjoy that. And I got some more of those coming. You got some more merch coming. ablmerch.com. Links are always in the box. Also, please go to my the main website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and I have articles for each. I write articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, you have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic. I saw you, Jake Tapper, take my talking point, but that's fine. From the politically agnostic, the Republican, Democrat, everybody, local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it right there on the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, it's ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, and y'all distracted me with the comments. Shout out to Tim the Beard. Tim the Beard says, ABL get fitted hats is better on the bald head. Hey, man, my head is just, well, also the fitted hats, that's going to be not very economical because you got to have a bunch of different sizes. The one size fits all is just one and it's easy. But let me continue. If you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, just cross-reference the method of communication. My email address is very simple. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. That email will always be on the website, so you don't have to remember. Just go to the website in the box, go to the contact page, and it's all right there. My address from my P.O. box, my email address, all the ways to contact me are right there. I read a lot of you guys' emails, but I don't read them all. And what I also don't do is hang out in the comment section and offer you financial advice or anything of this nature. It's just not going to happen. And no other YouTuber is doing that. Even if it's a financial channel, they're not going to be in the comment section talking about, oh, I can help you with your finances today. I can help you today. They're not going to be in there doing that. They're going to have a course or something to sell, or maybe you can email them and set something up. But do not fall for anyone in the comment section trying to sell you something, talking about go get some Apple iTunes gift cards. If I see one of y'all in the Target with a bushel full of gift cards, I'm going to hold your hand lightly and say, you know what? Let's walk on back to the rack where you got these from and put them back on the thing. Okay, put them back. Don't come out of this store with these cards trying to send them to somebody. You're going to get scammed, and this is 2025. We don't have time for that. We're going to keep all our monies in our pockets, all right? That's what it's going to be. Because if you send those gift cards, it'll be going to a guy in a 5 square foot hovel with 25 people in it in Lagos, Nigeria, or it'll be somebody in a random place in India, a brand new city with 100,000 residents, and they packed like hot dogs in the pack. You understand what I'm saying? They packed like this. I ain't gonna say what that is. Ends to B's. Y'all know what that is, but I ain't gonna say it because I'm a family man. Okay, and now I'm clean, which I know I'm talking about. Y'all gonna be packed like that. It'll be a guy in there on a flip phone scamming you. Don't fall for it. We got to keep all our money right now. We got money to invest. We got things to do. But again, shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. I got to work on my Indian accent. It's not good. All I got is the African accent because it sounds like me anyway. Hold on. Bald Tire says, you can't really make money. You really can't make me $1 million in 3 months if I send you money. I cannot. I cannot. All right. I mean, if I could do that, man, please. If I could do that, man, I'd be somewhere on an iceberg, just being reckless with money. I'd be out there just catching salmon out the water with my hands and cooking it right there in some random resort in the Arctic Circle. I'd be doing stupid stuff if I had that kind of money. So yeah, and that's something else though. If somebody tells you that they can make you a millionaire with a small investment, that kind of sounds like one of these pyramid schemes. Like remember Primerica back in the day? And if you do Primerica, nothing against you. I'm just saying what I was told is that I can make a bunch of money and that's a little bit of seed money, $175, and I'm able to become rich. But I'll never forget it. The guy who was trying to sell me on that, I'll never forget. I probably was like, 18, 19 at the time. I'm young. Me and my homie, we out there eating Chinese food in Virginia. Dude come up to me, had the most raggedy phone ever. The phone looked like it was on his last leg. He looked like he needed to get us to sign up and pay that money to get him a new phone. That phone was all the pieces. Talking about you can become whatever you want to be, man. They try to say these black boys can't do nothing. Y'all can be something. I'm like, bro, I'm in college. What are you talking about? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, don't get scammed like that. We don't have time for this type of nonsense. But anyway, we got a lot going on. We got a lot happening. I'm going to show a video right now that kind of caught my attention. Situational awareness. I just wanted to educate right now. Okay. Now, if you guys can't see the screen, if you're listening to the podcast version, what you have right here is some sort of jam, some sort of traffic jam at the top of an escalator. I don't know where they at. Probably, is it a train station, airport? I have no idea what's going on. But what do you do in this situation if there's a traffic jam at the top of the escalator and you are on the escalator going up? What do you do?
Wait. What the hell?
So, okay, what are we doing right here? Like, we just going to kind of chill? Okay, my man right here has the right idea. Get on top of that and just hang out. There we go. And the other one's kind of like just like bowling balls. My man right here just sitting there like, okay, nothing's going to happen. Let me just continue on. Like, bro, come on, man. You need to make an evasive maneuver. Evasive maneuver. Now, these are going to be the individuals who are at a Tesla for no reason screeching. That's them. Okay. Now, to you guys who are watching, what do you do in that situation? Do you just kind of let the escalator push you into the crowd, or do you do what my man right here did and make an evasive maneuver? What's your reaction? If it's me, I'm going to do what my man right here is doing. Hopping over the actual thing and just kind of chilling until the traffic jam gets resolved. Now, hopefully there's some kind of landing right here, because if it's not, you're going straight down. You're going straight down. Shoulder check, use the stairs. I'm a stairs guy. Whenever I go to the airport, if I can use stairs, I'm going to use the stairs all day. I'm a stairs guy. If it's a hotel, I use the elevator if I got to go way up. But an airport or something like this, subway, airport, I'm going to use the stairs. It to me just makes more sense. It's I don't got to do all this traffic, because usually the stairs are completely open. So you could just walk up that and get to your destination rather than dealing with the escalator. People standing there, afraid to get on it, afraid to get off it. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Okay. So yeah. And then also, aren't you able to see the top of the escalator before you get to the top. So once you are boarding, once you're getting on the escalator, you got to think, how am I going to actually get to where I got to go if there's all this traffic at the top? I mean, y'all just let me know. That's, you know, just a little bit of common sense goes a long way. Now we got Tampon Tim's daughter. All right, Tampon Tim's daughter, she's back saying a few things. I wonder how many ways she can say that Trump supporters are mean and hateful and bad. Let's see.
I understand that this is an extremely privileged take to be able to have. But I grew up in the church. I grew up going to church. I'm confirmed. I even worked at a church camp when I was in school. Not like the creepy, like, colonizer type kind, but like the let's go hiking because the earth and, you know, nature and the world around us is amazing and we need to protect it. And there's a greater power, you know, that created that whole thing. My mom still goes to church multiple times a week. I'm in it. I don't really know where I stand right now, but I'm in it. I know it. And I want to say, I sleep okay at night because I know all these people are not going where they think they're going. They're going to the bad place, if this isn't already the bad place. And history will show that. So, yeah.
Okay, so what did we gather from that? Is she saying that if you're a Trump supporter, if you're an Elon supporter, if you're a MAGA, you're going to hell? Is that what she's implying? Like, really? Is it that serious? Like, I think I'm a pretty good person. I think I'm a pretty good person. I mean, ain't nobody perfect, but I gotta go down to meet Lucifer. That's where I gotta go because I'm a conservative guy. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. And then the colonizer church, what's that? What is a colonizer church? It's kind of weird. What we have right here with Tampon Tim Waltz's daughter is, in my humble opinion, a confused individual. And a lot of this confusion manifests itself as violence. That's why they're out there carrying on, acting the fool, because they're confused. They don't know what's going on. They don't know which way is up. So yeah, shout out to Tampon Tim's daughter. Hopefully you get your mind right, because right now, you're not really all the way there. You're a few trees short of a forest. So yeah, Hope. Her name is Hope Waltz. Now, my thing is, I've seen quite a bit from her. Is she trying to run for office one day? Imagine you see House Rep Hope Waltz. I mean, it's not beyond the possibility. We see AOC. I don't see a big difference between her and AOC. She's like a younger version of AOC. And when I say younger, I mean by like 2 years. They're like not even really that different. All right. So that's crazy. I gotta go to the dark. I gotta go to eternal damnation because I'm a conservative. That's crazy. That is nuts. That's not a very Christ-like thing to say, Miss Waltz. All right, now check it out. This is the kind of person that would be very offended at your Trump bumper sticker, at your Tesla car decals. He's offended. He's on the road and he flipped somebody off, probably because of the Trump bumper sticker. Let's hear the conversation. The guy's asking him like, hey, what's going on with that? Let's hear the explanation, shall we?
He's your president. Does it make you feel special to flip me off? It's okay. It's okay. It makes you special to flip me off because I like President Trump. It's okay. We all love you.
It makes me feel good to flick you off because I get to let go some of my anger about at people who have manipulated and lied to you to make you feel like you have voted for someone who is going to do something for you, when all he is going to do is continue to lie to you. He's going to continue to steal from you, and he is going to continue to make people dumber, less safe, and less healthy. So I feel sad for you. I feel bad for you that you were manipulated by Fox News and people like Tucker Carlson and these Sean Hannity and these holes. So that's why I feel bad for you. So good luck, take care, and fuck you.
It's okay. Love you. He's your...
Okay, my man had to get it off his chest. So, you know what? A lot of these liberals are pretty arrogant. They think one man can do all that. One man can make me smart or dumb. One man can take all of what I've earned. One man can do all of that to me. And then maybe, just maybe, it wasn't Fox News. It wasn't Sean Hannity. It wasn't Tucker Carlson. Maybe it was guys like him that turned me the other way. Just maybe. That kind of guy right there is a big part of the reason why I left the left. I don't like people like that. That's an irregular. Again, it's about regular people versus irregular people. That is an irregular right there. I want to get away from him. So wherever the majority of them are, I don't want to be there. Whether that be Los Angeles, California, whether that be the Democratic Party, whether that be the Snow White movie premiere, wherever irregulars are, I want to be away from. Fox News, in my opinion, is not even relevant to that decision. It's about what's best for me and those around me. So now I'm not brainwashed or convinced by Orange Man to do anything. What I want to do is what I want to do. And I voted for the guy who best aligns with my beliefs. I voted for the guy who best aligns with what I want to do. Not what he convinced me, not what he told me that I wanted. I'm a full-grown man with my own mind. Maybe he does not have his own mind, but I think all of us do. So yeah, shout out to him. Don't be so offended, bro. Life is too short to be so offended. All right. Shout out to my man. Really, really sure. Like, what state was that from? That's a good question. Where do you think that comes from? I'll say California. My guess is California, although I could be wrong. I'm seeing some kind of, maybe not California. I'm seeing some trees in the background that don't look quite California. Maybe Texas, perhaps. That could be Texas. You might have a California expat in Texas acting the fool as normal. One of these liberal California expats acting the fool. That could be what's happening right here. I don't really know. All right. State of denial. That's a good one. Shout out to YouTube Sucks. State of denial. That's where he's from. State of denial. State of anger. State of dependency. State of mental illness.
Like,
all right. Now, we got Kyrie Irving talking about racism in this country. And you know what? It's really unfortunate. I like Kai. Kyrie is one of my favorite NBA basketball players. If you guys ever seen Kyrie Irving play, it's like watching poetry. He is so good with the basketball. He is a really, really, really good basketball player. And I was with him when he stood up to the mayor of New York City during COVID. Remember that? During COVID-19, there was a vaccine mandate on New York City employees. And that did not just apply to people that worked for the city. That applied to you if you worked in the city. And at the time, he was on the Brooklyn Nets. So he had to get the vaccination. He didn't want to do it. So ultimately, that led to him getting traded. Now he's vindicated because people are getting their jobs back. They're getting back pay. I support Kyrie 100% in his fight against mandatory vaccinations. He was 100% correct on that, and he's a great basketball player. I like Kyrie Irving. However, I think it's a little bit misguided when it comes to the whole race issue in this country. Check it out.
Like growing up in this society, and just because you have this skin tone, you have different rules that you got to abide by, or you can't be proud of your history because you're this skin tone. Like, people really got killed because they were a different skin tone, bro. You know how stupid that is? You know how ignorant you got to be to put somebody in a tree and hang them because they're black?
Let's pause for a second. Now, of course, lynching is a bad thing, but let's not act like lynching was just done to black people. Here's some numbers. According to Tuskegee Institute, a black college, between the years 1865 and 1965, 3,500 blacks were lynched. It doesn't say by who, if it was the Klan random white people, black people, 3,500 blacks were lynched. Now, I'm no mathematician, so y'all help me out with the math. But 3,500 divided by 100 is 35. We eclipsed that on the weekend, a good weekend in the community. Between Chicago, LA, and New York, we can surpass the yearly lynching totals for black people in one weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we hit 35 with no problem. However, in that same period of time, 1,700 whites were lynched. Did you know that? I digress.
It's probably the dumbest shit I ever heard, bro, to be honest with you. Like, and I say this from not an ignorant standpoint, by the way. So shout out to the educators. I'm not diminishing, what you put out there and what I've learned. I'm saying that it's one of the dumbest things ever. It really is. It really is, bro. You really don't like somebody because they're a different color.
It's not that, though. I mean, Kai, we got to be a little bit honest. Can I be honest? Because you guys, I feel safe with you guys. This is a safe space. It's not even about the skin color, bro. It's about your behavior. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or what someone thinks that you did. Hey, I think that you assaulted this white woman. We're going to lynch you. Hey, you got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing. We're going to lynch you. Same thing for the whites. Because why did the whites get lynched? Why did the whites get lynched? For the same reason. Messing with underage girls, okay, we're going to string you up. That's just what it was. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that was the reason. Okay?
They're a different religion, bro. That's the dumbest shit ever for me. I don't get along with people like that, bro. And I don't have time to listen to people like that. Literally, you're trying to downplay the fact of racism and then say, pick up your bootstraps and work harder.
Listen, you have to pick up your bootstraps and work harder. You got no other choice. Because what are you going to do, Kai? In order for you to become one of the best basketball players of your type ever to play the game, you had to work hard. You had to put in practice. It was tireless, day after day after day dedication. If you did that for yourself, then why would anybody else be different in their life? We can sit here and wait on the white man to come save us and wait our whole lives and die without having the white man come save us. If there is a big hole you're in, right, Kai? You're in this big hole. There's a ladder right next to you. It's on the ground. All you got to do is just pick the ladder up, put it up against the hole, and climb out of the hole. Or you can wait for the white man to come physically rescue you and lift you up out of the hole. You can wait for the white man to come, or the ladder's right there. The ladder is right there. Pick the ladder up and get out of the hole. That's my philosophy, and I think that it makes sense. What do y'all think?
When there's a whole system designed to oppress people.
What's a system that's designed to oppress? Like, give me some examples of the system that you're talking about.
That have darker skin tones. So you can judge me when you see me at a basketball court. You can say all these nasty things. People have said nasty things to me before. I've heard people say different things to people before, but you don't even fucking know who I am. That's what I'm saying. This is my crash out cam because I got to give y'all this one-on-one POV before I get out of here. But the racism and all that stuff, and I'm sure like I've gotten shadow banned plenty of times on my social platforms for talking about certain issues. I don't care either.
Well, to be honest, Kai does have a point with that because there was the one thing that happened with he posted a link to a documentary that's on like the documentary was on Amazon, but he got punished for posting a link to a documentary that's on Amazon. But Amazon itself is totally fine for having the actual documentary on it. So make that make sense. If I advertise something that's on Amazon, I get in trouble, but not Amazon.
But I'm saying I stand up for humanity being a coexisting community where race, culture, and class or religion is not always at the forefront of everything you do. I'm not saying you don't put God first. I'm not saying you don't put your faith first. I'm saying that you would allow those things to not show you the truth of how you're supposed to treat others. If you put God first and your faith is strong, what the fuck in your faith tells you to hate other people? I haven't read that in the Quran, to hate other people. I haven't read that in the Bible. I haven't.
Bro, really? The Quran? The Islam spread by the sword. So they may not say to hate based on race, but they hate based on something, because it did quite a bit of killing, and they're still doing killing right now. Look at what's happening in Syria. That whole region of the world will never stop fighting, ever. Never. Like, anytime there's a strike, Yemen, Syria, it's never going to stop over in that particular part of the world. So it might not be hate that's preached, but it's something that's being preached.
I haven't read that in the Talmud. I haven't read that in different holy books, to just go out and hate people. I've never seen that in African spirituality systems as well.
All right, so that's Kyrie Irving. If you don't know, he plays for the Dallas Mavericks, NBA basketball player. He is hurt right now. He tore his ACL, so he's out for the remainder of the year. A great basketball player, and I supported him when he did not get vaccinated when it was required when he was in New York on the Brooklyn Nets. Great basketball player. I support his fight against C-19 mandates, but he's just off base right here. He don't really understand that the whole thing about racism, really, it's about behavior of people, and that goes beyond skin color. It goes into ethnicity as well. You got blacks, Africans, Caribbeans, and they don't always get along. Blacks from this part of the country don't even understand blacks from that part of the country. Get a New York black person to come down to Atlanta. They don't understand each other. We understand them from up north, but they don't understand us down here. If we get really into the James Brown type of dialect, they don't know what we're talking about. And even with me, I'm in the store one day many years ago. I'm in a like a Chipotle. I'm in Moe's, not Chipotle, but I'm in Moe's. It's like Chipotle, but it's not, if you don't know. Anyway, I'm in there trying to order, and the dude at the counter sounds just like James Brown. I'm like, huh? Excuse me? Pardon me, sir? Beg your pardon? I'm like, what are you saying? I pretty much just walked away. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't speak this language. What is this? Like, what in the world is happening? Bro, learn English. I say that to say this. A lot of the problems in society that people think are about race specifically, it's deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. If we all were the same and we behaved the same, we had the same kind of culture, the same everything, then there wouldn't really be too many conflicts. But obviously, we're not the same. And even within races, there's problems. Go to Europe. They're still fighting over there. Ukraine versus Russia. Then you had the whole thing with Yugoslavia. You got the Serbs and the Croats, and everybody will live right next to each other, but fight. Vlade Divac went to, I think it might have been Croatia, to visit. And the people who were white, just like him, were calling them racial slurs, calling them a chetnik right there in the street. That might be the equivalent of the N-word, but these are two white people, white Europeans doing that to each other. So it's deeper than race. But yeah, shout out to Kyrie Irving. Great basketball player, just misguided on the whole race issue. All right. Yeah, but shout out to him. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Where was Vlade when the whole Chetnik thing happened? Hold on. It might have been, I think he was in Croatia. Yeah, that whole thing down there, the Balkans. Yeah, it's pretty serious. He was in Croatia. That's where he was. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it for you right quick so you can see what I'm talking about. And Vlade is a Serb. All right, let's watch.
The last time I was in Zagreb, it was a celebration.
Now, a little bit of context. Vlade Divac played in the NBA for a long time. He was also playing in Europe. He is, I believe, Serbian. And there's a lot of history with this particular part of the world, obviously. And now this is him going to Croatia for the first time in 20 years.
So much has changed since then.
I'm happy to walk finally through Zagreb, but at the same time, people are looking funny at you. Like, why he's doing, why is he here? What's he doing,
Vlado Divac? Chetnik.
See, right there. White people, I don't like you because you're from there. And you're from over there, so we got a conflict. There was a war right here where Vlade's quote-unquote people were committing atrocities among the Croats and whatnot. So it's deeper than race. But I move on. I will move on. I'll move forward. Now, speaking about race, this is on CNN, Comedy News Network. Scott Jennings, of course, is the boss hog over there. People are saying that the illegal aliens that were sent to, what was that? Where they sent them to? Was it Salvador? Or where is the big mega prison at? I think it's El Salvador. Yeah, El Salvador. And somebody on the panel was trying to say the reason why they're treated so quote unquote inhumanely is because they're not white. Personally, I don't care what color they are. They can be black, white, Puerto Rican, the Candy Stripe. If they're here illegally, send them to where they got to go. Gitmo, El Salvador, it only the Bikini Bottom, SpongeBobville. I don't care where it is, but they got to get up out of here.
Talking about the Alien Enemies Act here. We're talking about using this wartime powers to attract what they call gang members. But there is still a human rights issue. And the way that these people are treated is completely inhumane. And the fact of the matter is, if these were white babies being stripped from their families, if these are white men with families, there would be a whole different level of humanity extended to them. And I don't see that happening. The way these people are treated is absolutely criminal.
I mean, obviously, there's a huge dispute between the executive branch and the judiciary over who's got what authority to do what here. I think the Trump administration has an argument to make. It's not going to be sorted out at the district or even Court of Appeals level. At some juncture, because it is a serious separation of powers issue, the Supreme Court has to step in. By the way, you invoked the word inhumane. I would just point out that I don't think Jessica Nungare or Laken Riley or any other victims of some of these illegal immigrants and gang members, they weren't treated very humanely. And I think what Trump is responding to is an outcry from the American people to solve this issue, to get the criminals out. And that's what they're doing. That's what they believe their mandate is to do. And I think there are legal arguments to be made, but you cannot deny that the American people are giving them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to exiting from the country these animals.
No. Exactly. 100% correct. 1,000%. The people don't mind it. The people are like, yo, get them out of here. Because they've been terrorizing American cities for a long time now. So, yeah, get them up out of here. Get them up out of the way. All right. Shelly Belly says it wasn't inhumane to traffic them over the border, not have anywhere for them to live. Exactly. What's inhumane are the children that are being trafficked across the border. And it's like not really a big deal. Where are all these missing children? That's pretty inhumane for children to be sold as slaves in this country. So I think we got bigger fish to fry, Miss Lady, talking about racism. Alrighty. Now we got some new reinforcements on the border wall. Hey, I like it. I love it. I want more of it. Shout out Tim McGraw. I think this is in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. Let's check it out.
Spiraling wire, enveloped in spikes that can easily cut into your skin, now covers the top and bottom of San Diego's border wall. Border Patrol agents escorted us past the border wall on the U.S. side to get a closer look at the recent security upgrades. The daunting image of sharp, unforgiving metal meant to deter illegal crossings into the United States.
If you cross illegally here in San Diego sector,
you will face consequences.
Chief Patrol Agent Jeffrey Stalnaker claims the in-your-face approach is working. Agents are currently apprehending around 30 migrants a day. Around this time last year, they were seeing up to 1,400 daily.
From 1,400 per day to 30, obviously what they're doing is working. So why not do it? Why not do it?
Say there has been a dramatic change would be an understatement.
Also helpful is the additional 750 Marines and Army personnel sent to the San Diego border in January. They engineered and constructed the concertina wire and have assisted in 24/7 surveillance of the border.
One of the issues that they had is just not having enough people spread across the border, so there's a lot of gaps in where they could see on whether or not people were or were not crossing.
Stalnaker admits the added security has led some migrants to take other dangerous routes into the United States, including 3 people who died last Friday while trying to illegally cross through the Otay Mesa wilderness. Stalnaker says these routes can become even more dangerous as the summertime heat leads to dry desert conditions.
Hey, check it out. Yes, it's dangerous, but you know what? The best way to avoid the danger is just not coming, staying where you are, staying home. That'd be the best way to avoid the danger. Hey, if they tell me, ABL, there's a whole pit full of lions, don't go into the pit of lions. If I go to the pit of lions, it's my fault if they chew me up. Okay? If they just tear me apart, that's my fault. They told me the lions are right there. The best way to avoid the lions is to not go to where the lions are. Very simple.
Have we also seen an increase in maritime operations, more human smuggling on our waters?
So the number on the water has gradually increased. We do anticipate that as we continue to lock down the border here and secure it, we will most likely see a greater increase on the maritime environment.
Federal troops are helping monitor San Diego's coast, but it's not clear how long they will stay. They expect to add more wire along the eastern portion of the wall in the next few months. Perla Shaheen, ABC 10 News.
I love it. Shout out to San Diego for bolstering the border security. Fantastic. ABL, where is the bipartisan border bill to shut the border down? You guys don't want to sign the bipartisan border bill. You guys don't want border security. Why do we need that when you see just how easy it is to secure it? We don't need a bill for that. We don't need $100 quadrillion to close the border. It doesn't cost that much. So shout out to Trump. Shout out to San Diego. Shout out to the Marines. Shout out to everybody for keeping the border secure. Now, speaking about security, speaking about the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, we have our, what was that? What's her role? I don't want to say the wrong thing. She is the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, out there in El Salvador in the notorious penitentiary. Let's see what she has to say. Check it out.
Here at CCOT today and visiting this facility.
Hold on, let me start from the top.
Here at CCOT today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people. Here at CCOT.
There we go. I love the backdrop. I love how serious it is. It's like, yo, we're telling you, don't come here illegally because you could be out there with them. Now, I don't think that you want to be in there with them. You probably just want to be free doing your regular everyday life. Okay, you don't want to be in there with them. So don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. And most certainly, if you're going to be here illegally, which you should not do, we just told you not to be here illegally. But what you don't want to do is be a criminal, a gang member. Hey, man, you're going to make big rocks to little. That is the actual message here. So, yeah, shout out to Kristi Noem. Hey, Kristi Noem looks great, by the way. Fantastic. Amazing.
What?
Now, we have someone else who I'm not really a big fan of, okay? AOC. Now, AOC some are saying that she is a top candidate for 2028 in the Democratic Party to run for president, AOC. Now, look, I don't know. I mean, if this is the best y'all got in the Democratic Party, y'all are toast on the national level. You have some irregulars who are going to vote on a local level for an AOC, but nationally, first of all, a woman as a president, good luck. And then her, no way, Jose. But let's watch and see what you got to say.
What many people want to smear as radical, I believe, is common sense. I believe in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world, when a person gets sick, they shouldn't go bankrupt. Common sense. I believe that a minimum wage should cover the minimum cost to live. Common sense.
Can I ask a question, AOC? How much does a living wage pay? What does it even mean? Because look, we have a federal minimum wage, right? $7.25 an hour. Who gets paid that though? I mean, I'm seeing people flip burgers for $15 an hour right now. The minimum wage means nothing. Wages are created by simple laws of economics, supply and demand. Okay, here's a job and people want to work for 15. Okay, we'll pay them 15. And we're going to price our products accordingly. So if we have to raise the wages to attract workers, we also got to raise prices. That causes inflation. If the federal government gets involved with setting a base for the entire country to operate on, that will cause people to have to raise their prices. And ultimately, what will happen is that the small guys will suffer. Small mom and pop shops, they're going to suffer as a result of this. You're going to just put money into the big boys' pockets. Your Walmart, Target, Amazon, they can afford to pay the higher prices and take a hit on the cost. They can lose $1 billion. It's not really a big deal. If a small mom and pop shop has to raise prices and they lose $1,000, they could close their doors for good and never come back. So all you're really doing while trying to, quote unquote, protect a little guy is empowering the big guy. But I digress.
I believe that homes are not slot machines for investors and big banks to extort working families out of every last dollar that they have. I believe that we must get big money out of politics and make clear that our country is not for sale. And that is why I don't and never will take money from industry lobbyists or corporations.
That's a lie. That's a big lie. There go Bernie. Bernie is the funniest guy in the world because Bernie, when he first came out way back in the day, what was that? Like Occupy Wall Street when he became very popular? He's been around since civil rights, literally. Literally, Bernie been around since civil rights. I'm not making it up. I'm not exaggerating. He's been around since then. But when he became popular, he was talking about, we have to fight against the millionaires and the billionaires. That's what he said back then. But then when he became a millionaire, when he became a multi-real estate investor, owner, whatever, once that happened, then it became, well, the billionaires, not the millionaires. Oh, okay. So you're taking yourself out of it. That's funny how that works. All right. So AOC, y'all vote for her. If she ran for president, what are y'all gonna do? Like y'all let me know what's happening if she runs for president. I'll tell you what, that'd be a sad day for the Democratic Party if that happened. Does he owns 3 homes, Steve Kerfuffle? That's crazy. That is totally nuts. Now, speaking about crazy and nuts, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. Edmonton City Council raises Two-Spirit flag to honor Two-Spirit Indigenous. Now, I'm gonna try to get this right the first time. One take. Two-Spirit Indigenous LGBTQQ. Yes, 2 Qs. LGBTQQIA+ Day. All right. let's see this reporter try to just, work her way through it without stumbling and bumbling like Joe Biden does when he falls on the ground.
Today to recognize Two-Spirit and Indigenous LGBTQIA+ Awareness Day. The Two-Spirit flag showcases a rainbow with two eagle feathers to symbolize the balance of masculine and feminine spirits. The celebration at City Hall featured drumming and cultural performances. Organizers say the day is meant to honor and acknowledge Two-Spirit people within the community. They say the recognition is a reminder of Indigenous representation in Canada.
So today is a practice of remembering who we are, being who we are, and understanding that it's beautiful to be queer. It's beautiful.
Okay, so my question is, are we honoring natives or are we honoring the LGBTQ? To the natives watching, how do you guys feel about being lumped into LGBTQ, elemental P, X, Y, and Z? The natives I know don't like stuff like that. They want to practice their traditions and do their thing. And they're all about respect. They don't like being disrespected or anything, or like dismissed or cast away. I'm offended when they try to put us in it because look at the flag. Okay, that's offensive. The black and the brown. They put everything in the world in this flag. Everything in this flag except for the white man. If you're not a straight white man, this is your flag. And I do not like it. I do not like being placed next to alternative lifestyles, weirdos, irregulars. Nah, I don't like that. That is very offensive. That is racist. When they're talking about racism, Kyrie Irving and anybody else, when you're talking about racism is saying that because you're black, you're the same as a gay person. That's racism. I'm black and that's it. I'm a black and I'm an individual. I'm not the same as the next black person or a gay person. Let me have my individuality. Don't lump me into some alternative lifestyle that I don't want to be involved in. Don't do that to me. Just leave me alone. Let me do my own thing. Don't try to hijack my history to propel your perverse ideology. I don't like it. Not a big fan. Now, speaking about people who don't like things and the alternative lifestyle, we have some passport people that have passports, not passport bros. Shout out to them. People with passports who don't like the changes, okay? You were born as, I'm not quite sure. I don't know what your actual species is here, sir, ma'am, whatever. I don't know. But there was a change in the passport and he, she, they, them doesn't like it too much. Check it out.
My name was changed, but my gender was not changed. So it states my legal name, Orion Hodge, but does not state the correct pronouns or gender.
Orion sent me this photo of the updated passport. He got it at the end of February. We blacked out any personal and confidential information. It shows the legal name changed, but the gender's still showing female, not the male like he applied for.
I was expecting my gender not to be changed, and I was mentally prepared for that. But it was still pretty disappointing to see. My name was...
Okay, so Orion is a biological XX female, a woman, a girl, a lady, a ma'am, a missus, a miss. That's what she is. But because there's some kind of confusion going on, she believes that she is a he. Now we have to face reality, Miss Orion, that you are a girl. However you want to dress, however you want to identify, that's your business. I'm not really into trying to police that. But we got to just be all the way real. You are a woman, and it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, shout out to her. Let's have the proper identification on passports so we can really know who you are. If I don't have your name and your actual real information on the passport, what's the point of a passport? At a certain point, that's become that can be used in a fraudulent way. That can be used in a way to try and deceive and try to skirt around things you shouldn't be skirting around. Now, Trump said it right here pretty well. He pretty much laid it out black and white.
No matter how many surgeries you have or chemicals you inject, if you're born with male DNA in every cell of your body, you can never become a woman. You're not going to be a woman. And that's why last month I proudly signed a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports, and it was very popular and very... No matter how many surgeries.
I love it. I love it. And that EO was very popular. Very, very popular. I don't know who would be for a man competing in women's sports. I don't know who would say that's a good idea. Like, yeah, let's have this man compete against women or boys against girls. It's unfair. It's not right. It doesn't make any sense. So shout out to the Orange Man for keeping it all the way real. And you know what? Trump does things that are common sense to the majority of regular people. The irregulars don't like it because their delusion is not being validated. But that's not our job to validate your delusion. Now, Snow White. Have you guys seen Snow White? I got a little bit from that. A little bit of Snow White's not doing very well. It's one of the worst rated movies on IMDb ever. And I kind of want to watch it because I want to see if it's that bad. I want to see if it's that bad. I got a really funny video with the Chinese people roasting it. I'll get to that in a minute. But this is the star of the show. What's her name? Rachel Zegler, if I'm not mistaken. Well, really, in my opinion, the star of the show is that tall fashion model. What's her name? The Israeli. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She played Wonder Woman. I forget her name, but she's a star of the show. All right, whoever she is right here, I can do without her. But that tall model, the Israeli, yeah, I like her a whole lot. Her right here, I'm not really a big fan. And it's not even really about the looks. It's about the behavior and what she's saying. It ain't about skin color, Kyrie. It's about the behavior in this situation. Gal Gadot, oh yeah, Gal Gadot, love her. Yeah, like just like Charlize Theron, Gal Gadot, beautiful. Her is like, nice. I'm not trying to say nothing about her looks. I'm just saying she kind of get on my nerves. Let's see what she has to say.
Can you tell us a little bit about your version of Snow White?
Yeah, I mean, Snow White is the girl you remember, but she's definitely made for the modern age. And there's such an emphasis on what it really means to be the fairest of them all. And for Snow White, it's coming to terms with finding herself and finding her inner voice and finding a sense of agency so that she can be a just ruler and a wonderful queen, because there's another one in town who's...
Can you tell?
See, that type of stuff like that, man, I don't even want to hear it. Just you could just not even really talk. Just go ahead and be covering my ears, man. I don't want to hear that. Like, that's not very good movie promo. If I was in the market to go watch Snow White and I hear that, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'd rather just go ahead and watch some paint dry. Let me clean up my garage. Let me clean my bathroom. Let me actually mop the ceiling with a mop or something. I'd rather would do that than to listen to that type of activity. All right. Now, do we have dwarves protesting Snow White because they use CGI? Now, look, that is an actual dwarf right there, but I don't know if he is for real protesting or if it ain't real. All right. I'm not really sure. So let's check it out. He's protesting, perhaps, because they did not use real dwarves in Snow White. They used CGI instead. I guess it's offensive to use dwarves.
It's like nowadays you can protest about just about anything. Well, why don't I begin a protest about the fact that Disney decided to use CGI dwarves? Not even the real thing. We could have gotten hired. We could have gotten money for something, but no. They're so ashamed of the CGI dwarves. They don't even have it on the first flyer. Well, it's time to make a movement.
Now you wash the dishes. You tidy up the room.
Seems like now.
So yeah, shout out to my man. If you guys couldn't see the screen, his sign says hire real dwarves. Hey, I second that notion, little man, if that's appropriate. I second that notion, little guy, because why not? I mean, why not? You guys want to work. You guys want to show your talent. Just because you're small doesn't mean you're some kind of way disabled and you don't know anything. You just, let them go out there and work. All right. So yeah, shout out to the shout out to the dwarves. Is he trolling? That's funny if he is trolling. But yeah, shout out to the dwarves though. All right. Hey, Snow White, if y'all use CGI for the dwarves, that's crazy. Y'all done spent how many millions of dollars on these on the movie? Y'all can afford to hire some dwarves and really actually, you know what I mean? You can actually just pay them. Now, here's some Chinese citizens giving their 2 cents about what's happening with the movie, and this is pretty funny. Let's watch.
Do Chinese citizens think of Snow White? A blogger wrote, "Promise me you have to go watch it. Don't let me suffer alone." A netizen said, "If Disney really wants to be politically correct, they should have a woman wake Snow White with a kiss and then pair the prince with one of the dwarfs." Someone replied, "Don't inspire them with new ideas." Another asked, "If Snow White is played by a Latina and Little Mermaid is black, then why is the prince in both movies white? Are you discriminating against other races by suggesting they don't have princes?" A blogger asked, "Does no one think the new Snow White looks a bit like Bruno Mars?" A Canadian netizen said, "If Bruno plays Snow White, I think it would be more successful." Someone captioned this photo, "Snow Queen and her maid." Another added, "The Queen and the 8th dwarf." A netizen asked, "What exactly is the Queen jealous of her for?" In the movie, the mirror says, "My Queen, your beauty is beyond compare, but there is one where grows beauty from deep within, Snow White." Someone teased, "The Queen wants to be the kindest person in the world, so she has to kill Snow White. Are you even listening to what you're saying?" Netizen said, "I think this actress is quite pretty, but she really isn't suited to play Snow White." The meme of comparing Rachel Zegler to Lord Farquaad is going viral, but a Western netizen said, "Rachel's bob hairdo looks a lot like Audrey Hepburn." American netizen said, "Please don't insult the goddess." Blogger asked, "Can you believe these 2 dresses are designed by the same designer? The 7 dwarfs look like elders wearing infant onesies." Someone said, "The casting is already half-hearted, so might as well go all the way with it." Netizen joked, "The prince be like, 'Please save me.'" Someone joked, "Just looking at this picture, I can already feel the prince's psychological resistance." Netizen said, "If you think about the possibility that the investors behind this movie were trying to launder money, and suddenly everything makes sense."
Okay, so shout out to the Chinese. That was a lot there. But yeah, they had a few things to say about Snow White. The Chinese, look, one thing about Chinese people that I've noticed is that they are an old people. They've been around for a long time, so they understand humanity. They get it. Their civilization trying to be more Western is new, but they've been around for what, 5,000 years as a country? They're a very old country, a very old people, and they've been right there throughout the entire time, like since the beginning. So they know a lot about a lot. So yeah, shout out to the Chinese. If you guys could understand what she was saying, but I got everything that she said pretty well. Now, let's talk about this whole Atlantic kerfuffle. Let's talk about that. Okay. So look, here's what happened. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to show you guys the explanation first. So Mike Waltz, he was responsible for this group chat with White House people. Pete Hegseth, himself, and others were on this chat. Now, in the chat, somebody was talking about plans to hit Houthi rebels in Yemen. Like they were breaking it down like a little bit too accurately. And then the strike happens. Now we got a problem. The journalist who the chat was quote unquote leaked to, Jeffrey Goldberg, says, "I thought it was a joke. I didn't know any." Mike Waltz says he accidentally added him on there to the chat because he thought he was somebody else. So I guess he has his phone open. He goes to his contacts and he thinks this person is somebody else. He adds the guy, but it was Jeffrey Goldberg. Now, are y'all buying that? Do y'all buy that this was a mistake, that he didn't mean to add the guy? Let me know what you think. But here's explanation from Mr. Waltz on Fox News with Laura Ingraham. Check it out.
Lessons learned after the app. We're not using Signal app anymore.
Yeah, right. Lesson learned number one is you've got journalists out there who have made fame and fortune trying to trash this president. Yeah. And so, look, we've got to tighten up. We are tightening up, and we have some of the best technology minds looking at how this happened.
Well, it's happened to the best of us learned. Lessons learned after the app. We're not using Signal app anymore.
Well, that was an explanation right there. That wasn't the video I was looking for. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the other one. Talking about, oh, we're not going to use it anymore. Let me find the other one that I had where he kind of explained it. But are y'all buying what he's saying? Do you think that what he's saying is right? Do you think that what he's saying is it makes sense? All right, here's the other one I wanted. There we go.
But I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone, and we're going to figure out how this happened.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did the number? I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So your staffer did not put his contact information.
No,
but how did it end up in your phone?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, but that's a pretty big problem.
That's what we've got the best technical minds, right?
That's disturbing.
And that's where, I mean, I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never talked to him before, so how's the number on your phone? I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then somehow it gets
someone
sucked
sent
in,
you that
it gets
contact.
sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was?
So
on
the person that I thought was on there was never on there. It was this
Who
guy.
was that? What person?
Well, I'm not. Look, okay. Laura, I take responsibility. I built the group.
Okay, so are y'all buying it? I don't know. I don't know how this happens. Really, I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't know how this happens. I'm leaning more toward he's not telling the truth. That's kind of what I'm leaning toward, but I can't say that for 100% certain. I'm just not really buying it. Sucked in. How does that? You have to? You can't just say, oh well, just kind of got. You need to really explain that in a serious way, step by step, how that whole thing happened. You can't just say, oh, it just kind of happened. Nah, that's not good enough, bro. We're talking about you leaked attack plans on Houthi rebels, bro, to a journalist. You cannot do that. So I need more than just, oops, sorry, oopsies. Nah, that ain't gonna cut it, bro. Like, if I am just jogging casually, I trip, I fall, oops. Yeah, all right, whatever. Who cares? It's not really something like that. That's pretty serious. If I'm flipping burgers and one of the burgers don't get flipped all the way, I'm sorry, my bad. But something like that, nah, I'm gonna need a little bit more. So here is the man of the hour, Jeffrey Goldberg. That's the guy right there. That's a journalist right there with the Atlantic. That's funny how he has like the little product play. These guys are so funny. You have your Atlantic sticker offset on your MacBook Pro to floss to us. I can afford a MacBook Pro. So corny, but anyway.
After initially withholding what he considered to be information too sensitive for publication, Atlantic magazine editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg today shared it anyway. Why did you publish what you published?
Because on Tuesday, the President of the United States said there's nothing classified or sensitive in the emails, in the texts. I think people should see for themselves. They're saying nothing happened. I'm saying that this represents a serious breach in national security and communications. That's what journalism is for.
The new article revealed that on the morning of March 15th, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared with Vice President Vance and other senior officials the specific times F-18 fighter jets would launch to strike a target terrorist. Less than 2 hours later, Hegseth said sea-based Tomahawks would be launched.
It sent a chill down my spine. I mean, I'm getting on my phone, sitting in a supermarket parking lot, a plan from the Secretary of Defense about an attack that's coming up in 2 hours.
Today, traveling in Hawaii, Hegseth once again defended his decision to send the texts.
There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information.
I mean, he's right. He's right. All that wasn't in there. It's still bad. It's still a thing that shouldn't have happened. But what he's saying is correct.
We showed the text messages today to Chuck Hagel, who served as President Obama's defense secretary and is a former Republican senator. So this is the screen grab of the texts that was published this morning. Put your defense secretary hat on for a second. If you read that, what is this information?
Well, this is very real, classified information. You talk about when a launch is going to be held, when the mission is a go, what aircraft are being used to strike a target, drones and so on. If that's not classified, I don't know what is.
Traveling in Jamaica, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, also on the text chain, said,
"Someone made a mistake. Someone made a big mistake."
While his own cabinet secretaries have insisted the texts were not classified, when asked today, President Trump couldn't say.
I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask the various people involved. I really don't know.
There we go. So shout out to President Trump. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate the honesty and the openness to say it was a mistake. I can guarantee y'all, if this was a thing that happened under the Biden administration, you wouldn't have heard about it. They would have seen that and not said a word. What would have happened, even if the reporter wanted to publish it, he would have gone to the editors, to the publishers, or whoever, to the higher-ups with this story, and they would have said, you better not publish that. You better not publish that. Remember what happened with the Hunter Biden laptop story? Remember that? New York Post publishes it. The federales say, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're going to take that down from Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. And we're going to have 52 intelligence, quote unquote, officers come out and say that it's fake. That's what would have happened. They would say the same thing with that. Like we've already seen this play out before. We've seen it. Hunter Biden on the laptop is smoking crack, beaming the Scotty. He is high as gas in California. With a pistol and everything. That's fake. Russian misinformation. That's what they did. But with this, let's put it out in the public and embarrass the administration. You see how that works? So my thing is, look, if we're going to be publishing stories and sensitive information, let's not be playing around with it. Let's not have it be one-sided. Let's just let it be the same across the board, not just one way for one guy and another way for another guy. All right. So yeah, shout out to you guys for watching. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Now let's keep on rocking and rolling here. All right, where we going? Where we going next? Oh, Caroline Leavitt talking about the whole thing with the Afghanistan withdrawal. All right, let's watch.
We're not going to be lectured about national security and American troops by Democrats and the mainstream media who turned the other cheek when the Biden administration, because of their incompetence, left 13 service members dead in Afghanistan, and not a single person in the previous administration was held accountable for that botched withdrawal. Joe Biden said, in fact, it was a great operation. That is despicable. It's unacceptable to this president and this Secretary of Defense. The National Security Advisor has taken responsibility for this inadvertent number being added to the messaging thread. But above all, we take the lives of our troops, safety, security, prosperity around the globe with the utmost seriousness. We are not.
There you go. There you go. Right on. I mean, you have people died as a result of that Afghanistan withdrawal. Americans died unnecessarily as a result of that Afghan withdrawal. So I don't want to hear none of the belly aching from them trying to lecture us. I don't want to hear a thing. Because in this case, did any Americans die as a result? Okay, all right. I thought not. But y'all know how the media does. They literally turn the mountain into, they turn a molehill into a mountain, basically. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, you fool me once, you can't fool me again. Anyway, little bit of good news for you California folks. The new district attorney, Nate Hochman, has ended a death penalty ban set by the previous George Soros appointed district attorney. Check it out.
If we were to have a Sandy Hook type of situation and over 20 school kids got murdered by a vicious murderer, or we had a Las Vegas situation and over 50 people were to be gunned down by a sniper, in those situations, the death penalty would be back on the table for consideration.
Hochman says prosecutors may call for the death penalty in special circumstance murder cases and says it will only be pursued after an extensive and comprehensive review. Under the prior DA, George Gascon, seeking the death penalty was off the table. Keep in mind, the last execution in the state of California was back in 2006, and since 2019, Governor Newsom has had a moratorium on executions. Newsom saying it's immoral and costly to taxpayers.
If we were to have a Sandy...
Man, look, at the end of the day, you got a mass shooter, you got really, really violent, bad people. They got to get put down, man. And for real, from my point of view, here's my opinion. It could be a hot take. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. If y'all agree, disagree, let me know. But if there is irrefutable evidence that you did what you're accused of doing and you're convicted, let's say, for example, the accusation is that you are a serial killer of children, and they find you in the place with a bunch of bodies, you need to go ahead and get the chair immediately. Not this whole 20 years, 25 years of being on death row, exhausting the appeal opportunities. Nah, I say put you on the fast track, put you on the accelerated track to where you got to be, which is not anywhere on planet Earth. Accelerated track, straight 6 feet in the dirt. If there's irrefutable, I'm talking about you got caught with the murder weapon in your hand, actively doing something, and it's on camera, like there's no way to deny that you did what you did. Accelerated path. There should be a special provision. Okay, if you're just a regular, all right, but you get caught and it's crazy, I would say 2 years max you got on death row. And really, that's me being nice. I would say go ahead and just put you out as soon as you get convicted, take you out back behind the courthouse and do it right there. That's what I would say. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, hate hoaxes. Are we still doing that in 2025? I thought we left the hate hoaxes back. When was Juicy Smouye? When was that? That was years ago. I thought we left hate hoaxes back in the day with Juicy Smouye. Because when that happened, I'm like, all right, nobody can actually go do this again. Because it was so clear, it was so obvious. And I think the message from Juicy Smouye that you should have got if you have a brain in your head, which a lot of the hate hoaxers don't have brains, the message should have been, you know what, if you try a hate hoax, we're going to investigate, and you're not as clever, intelligent, smart, or anything as you think you are. We're going to find out that you did this and it was fake. But people, and you know what? I'm kind of lying a little bit. I knew back then that some would try it because some would think I know more of Juicy Smouye. I would never hire no Nigerians to be the white supremacists, MAGA country. I would never do that. I'm going to hire some real black people. People would think they could do it better than him, but they always do it worse. And here's another example. Latarsha, what's her name? Latarsha Brown out there in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Lady, what were you thinking about? What was the motivation? What was the purpose? I don't really understand. You're on a school board, so you got a pretty bulletproof job. You're on a local school board. We ain't talking about the federal DOE. You're on a local school board, and you're a city employee. You're talking about a very secure job. Why would you place a noose on your own desk and then call the police like it did something to you? Hello, police. Yeah, they racist down here. Why would you do that? What's the purpose? Anyway, so when she first made the allegation back in January of this year, there was a small protest of activists and school board members and a white liberal just to organize everything. Let's watch. Hold on. Let's start from the top here.
When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back.
A call for action and fight for change.
We will not be silenced.
Community members and leaders made their voices heard in front of Allentown City Hall Monday afternoon.
Just to think that people have to go to work in fear for their lives.
Since Friday, Allentown police continue to investigate an item resembling a noose found on a city employee's desk.
This egregious act is not just an affront to one individual, but it is an attack on the entire community.
Several spoke during a rally, calling for transparency, prevention, and an immediate federal investigation among a list of demands. This incident, community members note, is not the first racial discrimination issue City Hall has dealt with. Josie Lopez is a close friend of the victim.
They're always a community leader, always pushing for equality. They might be bruised right now, but they are not broken.
The victim is not being named due to safety concerns.
Our colleague was threatened. This was an act of terror. This was a hate crime.
All right, so this is, again, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and that's her right there. Now, they had a whole police press conference. I ain't going to play the police press conference, but basically what happened is this. They did a DNA test on the actual so-called noose that was found on her desk in City Hall, and they tested everybody that worked there. My thing is, you put the noose on your own desk in City Hall. They're going to have, you're in a secure place, ma'am. They're going to have cameras. They took the noose and they did DNA tests of all the employees and everybody who was there that day, whoever they could. And when that started, she was like, oh, no, never mind. It's okay. I don't want to do it no more. Nah. Ain't no never mind. You called the police and said that it was a hate crime. So now we're going to investigate. Let's get your DNA swab. When they asked for that, she was like, nah, go ahead and cancel. Stop the investigation. Don't do no more. So then they already knew what it was. They had to go get a warrant to get her DNA sample. And of course, when they run her DNA, not only was her DNA the only DNA on the actual noose, but it was on the outside and the inside, which means that she tied it and placed it on her own desk. Why? Listen, the moral of the story is stop with the hate hoaxes. Whenever you see a noose or something like that in 2025, assume it's going to be fake. Or if you don't want to make an assumption, don't assume anything. Wait for an investigation to happen. Just wait. Don't be like these people out here, okay, protesting. Don't do that because you're probably wrong. You're probably going to be embarrassed when the investigation happens and it's found that your colleague, your friend, your coworker done something to herself. So yeah, don't react to news like that. Wait a little bit and you'll see the truth. You shall see the truth. Oh, and yeah, here's the noose, by the way. Here's the noose. All right, let me show you guys that. Hold on. Can I show it? You can see it right there. Yeah, that's right. That's the noose right there. It's like, really, lady, you tried it. Noose or something like that. And it's like a hate crime situation. Like, show me a real story. I've not seen any. If you want to go back to the 1930s or something like this, okay, but it's 2025, man. We're a long way away from that. We're a long way away from all of that. Nobody even cares to do that anymore. Those days are long gone. Now, speaking about days that are long gone, how about affordable home prices? How about that? So look, I think this is legitimate. It's legitimate. Okay. Now, this is a 1-bed, 1-bath shipping container home for sale. You see the size of it, right? How much do you think that this costs? It does have plumbing, if I'm not mistaken. I think there is power and plumbing in this. How much do you think that this costs? All right, let's go ahead and play it.
All right, guys, let's do a quick tour of this super cool shipping container home. As you can see, this is a 1-bed, 1-bath, 1-story shipping container home, 8 foot by 40 foot.
8 foot by 40 foot.
It's got nice high 9-foot ceilings. We're going to go inside and show you what this looks like real fast. All right, look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me turn around real quick. Nice big windows, lots of natural light. So there's your front door.
The noise and that right there.
Okay. This thing's brand new. It's still got the alarm thing going off. Brand new, guys. So over here, you got your sink. Nice big window. Okay, you got your kitchen cabinets, induction stove, microwave. Remember, your stainless steel refrigerator is also included. It hasn't been brought in this one yet. Okay, you got your barn door that leads into your bathroom. This thing's fully loaded, guys. Turnkey, move-in ready. Fully loaded, turnkey, move-in ready. This one is $69,000, fully loaded. Back here, you got your mini split for your heating and cooling. You can get you a queen size bed back here if you want to. Extra storage up there. Super cool structure, guys. 8 foot by 40 foot shipping container home. These are becoming very, very popular. 3 big windows here for lots of natural light. We ship them nationwide, guys. Only $69,000. This thing is clean as a whistle, baby. Pretty. Look at all that recessed lighting. Let me walk around the outside of it for you real fast.
Now, the price, and it says Amish built cabin. Shout out to the Amish. But the price, I'm not sure what that includes. Just to ship it out to you in this state like it's finished. How about hooking it up to you probably also got to pay rent on the place. This is like an RV kind of thing. And I knew people that live in the RV. I know someone lives in an RV, and with an RV, you got to actually pay for your RV, of course, your vehicle, and you got to pay for your slot on the actual RV park. If you got an RV park, you got to pay for your slot on the park too. You can't just dump your vehicle somewhere and get power and water.
Walk around the outside.
And the person I know that lives in the RV, their RV slot rental is $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month just for the spot, not for the RV.
Show you guys here what the outside looks like.
So what do y'all think? Y'all gonna get one of those Amish built cabins? How about that? What do you think? I mean, listen, it looks well built. I put it to you that way. But no, no, thank you. I'm good. Because really, I'd rather we get an RV or a trailer. I'd rather we get something that's mobile if I'm gonna get something like that. Because you're basically it's like a mobile home. I'd rather have a mobile home rather than that. Personally. It's too small. Yeah, it's very small. If you're just a single person, like I could see if you were a single person about to be homeless or something like that, if you could get that, it'll make sense. If you're young, single, but you got a family, I mean, like forget about it. Yeah, that ain't really gonna work. $70,000 just for that. Then you got to get it shipped and hook it up and do all that kind of stuff. Now, if it was in California, man, forget about it. You probably couldn't even really park that nowhere without paying an arm and a leg. Now, speaking about California, is it illegal to wash your vehicle on the street in Newport Beach?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm ACO Watt with the Newport Beach Police Department. The reason I'm out here is someone called the PD complaining about the illegal use of public property for the auto detailing. Are you familiar with the rules in Newport for that?
Yeah, just last 7 years, washed people's cars and no one's ever hassled me, but yeah.
Yeah, so it can only occur on private property. You can't use public property for that in Newport Beach, so it has to occur in parking lots or completely off of the city streets. Also, there's supposed to be some sort of a mechanism in place to catch any of the water.
Okay.
The water can't be allowed to go into the storm drain system.
I caught it all.
Well, I see it going down.
That's not my water. That one's not mine. I caught all mine.
It's coming from this car you were just working on?
No, I got all mine. Yeah.
Are we being serious right now?
Yeah.
There's water going in the storm drain.
Oh yeah, that one's not mine. Yeah, and I used it till I collected it all. It's good. I mean,
There's soapy water on the ground. Right
yeah,
there.
it's not going to run off into the drain. It's going to stay right there and evaporate.
All right, so I mean, is that a thing? Y'all can't wash cars on the street, and y'all can't let the water get into the drains, the runoff, the soap water. It's like, what do you mean? You got a point, Naomi. Naomi says, "What you mean, ABL? You could just park it on the sidewalk and say you live there now." Yeah, exactly, right on. But is that a thing? You can't wash your car in the street? Like, what is that? I don't really understand. I've never heard about a thing like that before in my life. Is it because they want to preserve water? Y'all fill me in. Is it because it's Newport Beach? You want everything to be really pretty and fancy? I don't really understand. I've never heard that before. A ban on street car washing. Y'all gotta educate me on that. Y'all have to educate me on that. Now, speaking about California and also other spots in America, where do you think this video is? I'll turn the sound off. But where do you think this is with all the homelessness, you're talking about just rows and rows and rows, tents, trucks, everything. Now, my question is, what is this? Is it drugs? Is it poverty? A combination of both? 80% drugs, 20% poverty. What causes this kind of activity? Just a street lined with tents and trucks and all kind of stuff. Like, what is this? And you're starting to see this kind of stuff all over the nation, but definitely left coast. That is very, very, very common. Very common. Out here, not so much. Not even in Atlanta. I'll go down to Atlanta. You might see a tent, maybe occasionally, but you don't see stuff like that. You don't see entire streets. Well, you have one spot where it's like that. There was one place where there were some tents and the guy was on film cutting the tents with a knife because he said that the tents were there empty because there was an NGO collecting monies for the tents. Meanwhile, nobody lived in the tents. The tents were empty, but the NGO got money for the tents to be there. So they were paid to keep the area blighted when it didn't have to be. I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised with the way these NGOs work. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, we got some more Tesla people, of course. I don't know what they're really going to do with themselves. Like, is this their whole life? Hold on. Before we get to Tesla, we have a Fox Lies protest in New York City. All right, can we get some sound? Let's go ahead and rock it out here.
Peter Thiel! Overthrow the oligarchs! Mark Andreessen! Overthrow the oligarchs! Scott Bessent! Overthrow the oligarchs! Jeff Bezos! Overthrow the oligarchs! Mark Zuckerberg! Overthrow the oligarchs! Howard Lutnick! Overthrow the oligarchs! Miriam Hadelson! Overthrow the oligarchs! Timothy Mellon! Peter Thiel!
Can I say something right quick? This sounds kind of anti-Semitic, right? In my humble opinion. Zuckerberg, who else they say? This Howard Lutnick. I mean, what are we really saying? So you're out here. Hold on. Can I get a freeze frame of the dude with the crazy voice? Okay, you're using this crazy Howard Lutnick, using this crazy Vince McMahon WWE voice, talking about all these Jews you don't like. You're drawing swastikas, you're firebombing stuff. What am I really looking at? Is this a white supremacist rally? If it's not, I can't tell. If it's not, I can't tell. This is as close as we're going to get to actual white supremacists in this country. It's them. It's them. Then they say that you are the racist. You are the white supremacist. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll tell you. That's what they'll tell you. I mean, do they hear themselves? I hear them. Is it just me or do y'all hear him as well? Anyway, I mean, look, Trump derangement syndrome has kind of migrated to Elon, to anybody, everybody. It's the hate of those who people feel have more than them. It's pure hatred. Okay. And they're everywhere as well. These haters, they're everywhere. Is this Mardi Gras? Is this New Orleans? Like, what's going on here? Look at this. Now we're pelting Cybertrucks with beads. What is the purpose in doing that? What are you really doing? Pelting a Cybertruck with beads. Is it like therapeutic? Do you feel better after you do it? What is give me the science behind what you're actually accomplishing here. I don't think you're really doing much. I don't think you're really accomplishing much with this kind of activity. But maybe they feel better about themselves. And again, Musk, Elon, derangement syndrome, MEDS meds. It's brought to you by Pfizer, brought to you by the mainstream media. You're watching TV and they program you to hate. Where was all this hate before the election? It wasn't until the media started putting it out there that it started. That's the only reason why we are where we are right now. So to all those who were out there crashing out over Teslas, a brand of car, turn the TV off, go outside and literally, hands and knees, get on the ground and touch the grass. Physically put your hand, like here go the grass right here, right? Here's the grass. Here's the palm of my hand. Here's grass. Go like that and get a good rub, dirt, grass, all of that, and really feel it. Really feel it. Okay? Because this kind of activity right here is brainless. All right. Now look, some are going through extremes to remove the Tesla branding from their vehicle. Okay, my man right here. Look, he took the badge off, the letters on the back. We have these tools. Got it from Amazon. Okay. Hey, you bought that from Amazon from another so-called oligarch and Jeff Bezos, but whatever. Okay, so we're taking off the letters. Gugan, okay. Nice product placement. I have some of that as well. To remove the adhesive from the back of the actual stickers, microfiber cloth. You get all of that from Amazon. That's funny. What's funny is the way that he's taking that stuff off and the tools he's using. He probably went straight on his phone, went to Amazon.com or the app and said, okay, I need glue gun. I need some tools to scrape off plastic stickers. I need microfiber towels. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to get all that and get it auto shipped to my house. And then I'm going to record myself on my Apple iPhone from Tim Apple and put it on TikTok owned by Tencent, another big super giant. All to say that I don't like this so-called oligarch. Make that make sense. Okay, you're scrubbing it off, making it look real nice. And then what else are we doing right here? Taking off something else. Oh, you put some new stuff down. Prius, okay. So now your Tesla identifies as a Toyota. All righty. There we go. These people, man. Hey, get your cousin, whoever that guy is. I know one of y'all might know him. Get him. Call him on the phone. We're like, look, cousin Tim, I know it's been a while, but we're worried about you. We saw you on TikTok scraping your Tesla decals off. You want to talk about it? You want to get a little bit of therapy? Call that dude and get him some help because he's gonna need it. He's gonna need it. Exactly, Boomhire. He's keeping the car, or he's keeping that car. He ain't gonna get rid of it. He's keeping the car, but now he identifies as a Toyota. Now look, this guy, Walmartavius. Nah, what's his name? Demarquian. Hold on, this guy. I'm not making this up. This guy's name is spelled. You ready for it? DEMARQUIAN. Eyun. What does that spell? I don't know. Look, I think I'm a pretty good reader. I have a good mastery over the English language, but I don't know what language that is. Was that Klingon? What is that? You might as well say Walmartavius. At least I can pronounce that. But anyway, matter of fact, you know what? I don't even got time for this dude to be trying to pronounce this silly name. I'm going to call him Walmartavius for this video. So Walmartavius is about 500 pounds on a homemade ATV, and he sees a Cybertruck right here, left side of the screen, and he gets offended and rams it. Check it out. Okie dokie. There we go. Walmartavius almost flew off of the actual homemade ATV. I don't know what this is. Bro, Walmartavius, listen to me, man. You have more pressing issues to worry about than a Tesla. If only you put so much effort and so much energy into losing 1 pound, you'd be a lot better off. I mean, and my thing is, what was the purpose in doing that? You probably damaged your own little vehicle there more than anything else. All right. I don't know what this is. Do y'all have one of these? Like, what is this? Like a golf cart that you kind of rigged up? I don't know what this is. But bro, why? Is it that serious? That right there is a prime example of an irregular. And it's us versus them. He black, but I don't identify with that. Okay, I don't identify with that. I don't do stuff like that. I don't ride around parking lots and crash into cars because I don't like it. I don't weigh 500 pounds on a half an ATV, on a chopped up ATV. Okay, I don't do that. All right, but yeah, shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. What's on this back? I think that might be an air pump, like a basketball pump. Okay, and Walmartavius ain't playing no basketball. Walmartavius ain't even going to walk from the parking lot to the inside of the store without a motor scooter. So I don't know what the purpose of the pump is. It could be for these tires right here, but why would you do that and not just, but you know, I'm asking a logical question of an irregular. They don't know nothing. An irregular doesn't understand that you could just go to a gas station and get free air and it's quicker and easier, or it might be like $1 or something like that, versus having a bicycle tire pump on your back. But whatever, man. Irregulars, they're going to irregular. So shout out to him. All right, let's keep on moving here. Now listen. I saw this and I wanted to play it because y'all know my situation that happened on the airplane where the dude was where he overdosed on fentanyl and had to get Narcan or whatever he was on. He had to get Narcan, and he woke up he woke up completely heated. Like I said in my video, when the guy was on the airplane that I was on, if you guys didn't see my video, I'm on a Frontier Airlines flight from Atlanta to Norfolk. The dude was passed out on a plane. They get on the plane and Narcan him back to life. And of course, once you get Narcan and you wake up, you mad. He was heated. Like a squished up cockroach twitching. That's what he did. Now, I intervened to get him off the plane because they were trying to deplane him. He wasn't trying to deplane. So I waited until the 0 hour when they were trying to deplane all of us. And when I intervened, he got off and I saved the day. Now, it would have been the same thing right here with this guy. Can we watch this?
Your last chance. You will get the lighter back and get the Phoenix, but at this point in time, if you do not give up the lighter, I will divert the aircraft to Denver.
So look, the issue is he has a lighter and he shouldn't have it. And they're trying to say, hey, we need that lighter. And if you don't give up the lighter, we're going to have to divert to Denver. You're going to just make this plane land early. Like, it's going to be a bad thing. Now, listen, if I'm hearing this and I'm right next to him, I'm like, yo, give the lighter up. If he doesn't do it, we got to fight. Off rip, we got to fight. Because I'm listen, and I'm no tough guy. I'm very nice, and I like to joke and laugh all the time. That's me. I'm not really into all the stuff. When you're around me, it's going to be fun. I'm not tough guy. I'm not trying to fight, but I done already asked you nicely. We've all asked you nicely. If you don't want to relinquish the lighter, I'm going to take it from you. And if you don't want to give it up, now we got to fight. And it is what it is. You're getting stomped right in the ground on this airplane. So give the lighter up. We're not going to land early, getting diverted. Don't nobody got no time for that. What do you think the appropriate course of action is in this instance with the guy who is holding the whole plane up, making us divert because he has a lighter on him and he don't want to give it up? What's the appropriate course of action? For me, check it out. The lighter's right here in your hand. Is snatching. You want to release it? Bam. And now you're going to release it. Shout out to George Wallace. I was watching the old George Wallace video. I know, random, crazy segue. I'm watching the old George Wallace video, and I had to agree with him. He said, well, you know, the best way to stop a riot is hit him upside the head. I was like, you know what? That's a great way to stop a riot. You don't give them space to destroy. You want to come to a place and terrorize and burn stuff. If you hit them in the head, it'll stop it. For sure. Sometimes you got to go that direction. Even though you don't want to go that direction, you want to have peace. You want to be nice and kumbaya and get along. Listen, I mean, you're going to get a headbutt, man. Give the lighter up. But yeah, shout out to him. Hopefully the plane did not get diverted. But we don't got no time for that, man. We have no time for that. Now, speaking about travel, speaking about airplanes, guess who was spotted in LAX with their lover? Guess who was spotted in LAX with their lover? No other than Fonnie Willis and Big Nate. Big Nate had Fonnie all the way twisted. The dresses on backwards. All kind of stuff was happening during that particular trial. Oh, we're not together. That's that's the conservative media lying. It's a witch hunt against me. Everybody, listen, Fonnie. Everybody in Atlanta, Georgia knew that you and Big Nate were an item. Everyone knows that you diverted $700,000 from this case that never even started to him. Everybody knows that. So here they are right here in LAX. I wonder where they're going this time. They've been all over the world, ain't they? They've been on cruises, and where are they going now? And here's my question. Is this trip at LAX, by the way, and they live in Atlanta? So what are you doing in LA? Are you going overseas? Where y'all going? Y'all going to Hawaii, Japan? Y'all going, like, where y'all going? Alaska, nice little getaway? And who paid for the trip? That's what I want to know. Is it the taxpayers of Fulton County paying for the trip? I hope not. But that's probably what's going on. And they went shopping too. They got bags. They got shopping bags. So it ain't just, it ain't just a trip. They probably were in LA for a trip, going on rodeo, taxpayer money. I can almost guarantee you they didn't use taxpayer money to go on this little trip that they're on. All right. That's not very ethical. And isn't that kind of illegal? I mean, look, I'm no legal expert. I'm no legal eagle, but I thought that it was illegal to do stuff like this, take money from a case and use it for your own benefit. I thought that was illegal. She's lucky they're not in prison right now for doing that, but I digress.
Start. I have had conversations with him since you filed the motion, but they wouldn't be substantive to this. He sent me very nice sermons that have been done. And so
sermons, hey, sermons. I think he's laying hands somewhere else. Ain't no preaching or nothing going on. It's different kind of talking going on with y'all. Okay, it's something different happening with y'all. Sermons, man, cut it out.
The romantic relationship between the two of you start.
Yeah, so you know, we get into. There's been this effort to say that, okay, these exact dates are at issue, and these exact dates are. I'm getting signaled here.
Now look, these are supposed to be lawyers. If Fonnie Willis and Big Nate are your lawyer, you're going to prison. If Fonnie Willis is your lawyer, you're going to prison. If Nate is your lawyer, you're going to the penitentiary. You can't even defend yourself on TV, let alone somebody else. But hey, whatever. I guess the reason why they didn't get actually locked up is because their case didn't go anywhere against Trump. And it was never going to go anywhere. All they did really in Fulton County to Trump was give him a mugshot. All you did was give him some merch to sell on his website. Thank you. Appreciate it. You helped us win the election. Thank you, idiots. He's sending me sermons. All right, whatever. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's keep on going here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Do I have more? I got a little bit more. I don't got a lot of time though. Hold on. Let me see what I want to show next. Okie dokie. I think I want to show Jasmine Crockett, but I don't want to show her for real. I wish I could just not show her. Matter of fact, I'm not going to show her. What I'm gonna do right now? Well, I got to. I got to. I'm gonna show her a little bit, but I ain't gonna show the whole thing. Oh, the whole Hot Wheels comment. I gotta show that right here. Now, Hot Wheels. And Greg Abbott has been called Hot Wheels before. It's not an uncommon name to call him. And it's a reference to him being in the wheelchair. He was paralyzed at age 26 by a tree falling on him. But rather than Jasmine saying, yes, I was just making the joke, she lied about the reason why she said Hot Wheels. Why lie? Just tell the truth. Just say it was a joke and that's it. Ain't no point in lying about it. But here she is talking about Hot Wheels.
And because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes. And
it's too ghetto. I don't like it. It's just over the top. And the thing about Jasmine, I think that she may normally speak this way, but she is just adding a lot more onto it just to get attention. And that's why I don't like showing her, because I'm giving her what she wants. But at the same time, I have to show her because this is a news subject that's being spoken about, and I got to give my 2 cents on it. So I try to show her as minimally as possible. Put it to you that way. And check it out. I like joking. I like jokes. I think it's all good. Governor Hot Wheels, great, good one. Okay, cool. Now, can I call you House Rep Big Wig? Can I call you House Rep Snuffleupagus with them crazy eyebrows, eyelashes? If you're going to start joking, then let's start joking. Okay, I'm going to call you BW, Big Wig. That'll be your new nickname from now on. If you're going to joke. Now, I don't want anyone to say, ABL, you're doing too much. ABL, that's not okay. Nah. If we're going to have jokes, if we're going to be giving nicknames, let's do it. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And matter of fact, you know what? I would say this. I'm not offended at the whole Hot Wheels thing. Let's joke. Let's have some jokes. Pocahontas, BW, Big Wig, Bad Wig, Funny Wig, let's talk about it for real. Don't try to say that ABL is doing the wrong thing. Now, look, here's her statement about the whole situation. It says, I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear amongst the most vulnerable. Completely BS. Why even do that? Black mayors? What they got to do with it? Who's mayor of Denver? Who's mayor of Chicago? Who's mayor of Denver? There's a lot of them up in Denver as well. And these places where you have so-called black mayors are also sanctuaries. Your New York, Chicago, Denver, sanctuaries. And what is he to do with all these migrants at the border? Let them just overrun these towns that have no resources? The mayors of these places want sanctuary. They want the border to be open, but they don't want to deal with the consequences of the actual migrants flooding the country. They want Texas to deal with it rather than them to deal with it. But also, she says, literally, the next line I said that was he was a hot A mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. You're a liar. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those disabilities, are now outraged. Hey, check it out. Just say that I was joking the same way that Trump jokes. Just say that. And then we can have a good old roasting session. Okay, bad week, beat week, crazy week, funny week, Party City week, Temu week, Amazon week, TikTok shop week. Let's have those conversations and be real with each other. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Yeah, there's more, but I don't have no more time. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If you got a bad way, don't call. I'm just playing. But the number will always, I'm tripping. That's the wrong number. I forgot I didn't change my number. The new number, the new number is not what I just mentioned. The new number is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number will always be in the description, also right here in the ticker. Again, 706-406-3287. Y'all pardon me. The number is brand new. I got to get used to it. It's right there in the ticker, also in the box. Thank you, Sheree. I appreciate you for posting the number right there in the chat. Yeah, RIP to Skype. RIP Skype. That's the reason why I got a new number. If you guys don't know, Skype is coming to an end on May 5th, I believe. In May, it'll be done. So when Skype ends, I can't use that number anymore. And I went ahead and stopped my subscription to it because I can't use it after May. So it was like, I might as well go ahead and start right now. And the number for Google is free. So it's like, why not? It just kind of made sense to go ahead and switch right now. All righty. So super chats on deck. Let me read these. We're going to get to the calls. Thank you to Jason McCowan, who says, well, it just, became an ABL supporter. Thank you to Janine Jones, who says, I don't think he meant that. I think he was saying that he had the name in his phone properly, but the number was changed by someone to be a journalist number. Just a thought. Well, if the number was changed, then who changed it? Who had access to his phone? For me, nobody with a capital N has access to my phone. Nobody. Period. So how would that happen? And if someone did have access to it, I would know who it is and I would confront them about it. And then I got to ask, why would someone I know and I trust my phone, giving somebody my phone is like giving them the keys to my house, or keys to my car or my credit card. Like, yo, go ahead, take that. Hey, here's my credit card. Just take that, put it in your pocket and do what you want. Because you got everything right here. You got financial data, personal data, medical data, everything. I ain't giving you my phone just to go through. I mean, if you're just a regular person, not in the government, who has access to your phone aside from you? What, maybe your spouse, maybe your parent, maybe, and that's kind of stretching it. Probably husband and wife, and that's stretching it too. So you know who has access to your phone and who doesn't. That's what I'm saying. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you to Tim the Beard, who says ABL get fitted hats is better on the bald head. Thank you to EMT Rick, who says happy Ramadan ABL. Been rocking with you since 2020 election. Shout out to you, Eid Mubarak, and all that good stuff. Thank you to Shelly Belly for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to 80s Game Guy, who says Hex Seth worst F up since throwing an axe at a man. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that. That was hilarious. Shout out to Tony Hay Munkets, who says you gifted 5 ABL memberships. Thank you for that. Thank you to Kelly K, who says I didn't have anything to say, just slipping you some cash. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, Kelly. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says I got a couple names for Jasmine if she likes nicknames so much. How about Cricket Wig, Sally, or a lot more Ghetto Fabulous? Shout out to you, boss. But we got calls on deck. Let me go ahead and open up the Googles. Again, a number to call, 706-406-3287, 706-406-3287. The number is in the chat. Well, it's in the box, also in the ticker. All righty. And let's see if that's going to work. Okay, let's try this. 559, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. Not too much. Just wanted to get your comments, sir, on the border situation. How do you think the progress has been so far? Have you expected that it should have been more, or do you think that we probably could have been stepping it up a little bit more since Trump has been in office? Or do you say that Tom Homan and Trump and ICE and CBP has been doing a good job since Trump has been in office so far?
They're all doing a great job. I was showing the numbers earlier from San Diego. They said that at one point they were getting 1,400 illegal aliens every day crossing or trying to cross, and now that number is down to 30 per day. So from 1,400 to 30, that's a big decrease. And at the border overall, it's the same story. You went from very high numbers every day to very, very, very low numbers, like a 95, 99% drop. So they're doing a great job.
Do you think part of his April 2nd, I suppose that you would call it like his April 2nd executive orders, because he had a name for it, but I just forgot off the top of my head specifically. But do you think that has a lot to do with the border? Like he's going to be even ramping things up even further? And with our military being positioned on the border, do you think that we will be probably seeing some action against the cartels?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure about the cartels. I don't know what's going to happen on April 2nd. I don't know what he's going to really say. Trump, one thing about him that I like is that he's unpredictable. He does things sometimes, and it's like, okay, I didn't see it coming, but it makes sense. Just like the whole thing with the Doge saving checks, perhaps I might come out, or Howard Lutnick talking about, hey, well, the proposal is if you make less than $150 a year, no taxes. So there's been some pleasant surprises, so I'm not really sure what to expect. But if it's about trying to stop these drugs from coming in, I think that's always a good thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'm actually pretty excited to see what's going to be coming out from that. And I think that it's wise of him, and good old Trump. He never tells anybody his plans. He never spills the beans of what he's going to be doing prior to him doing it, because then, he's a tactician in the form of not letting your enemy get the one up on you. And I do like that about Trump very much. As far as and I'll leave this last point with you, ABL, as far as the signal situation, I think that whole thing is bogus. I agree with a lot of people. Perhaps it may have been used to find a potential leaker, or potentially expose, somebody who was possibly up to some sort of malicious intent. I'm not sure, but at the same time, I then can see, well, there is people that have a lot of contacts in their phones, and it could have been a mistake as well. And so, as far as it being a big deal, I don't really think so. And so anyway, ABL, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it. God bless you, sir. God bless the United States of America, and take care.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. And I think that my sound has improved. Yeah, because last time when the call would come in, my browser will automatically duck my microphone to what if I was appropriate for the call. But when they duck the microphone, it'll just reduce my volume, which would mess up my whole situation. But I was able to find a setting in Google, in Chrome, to fix it. So I think we're good now. 954 to the line. How much we get to?
Hello, ABL. This is Sean. How you doing? It's fine.
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Well, I want to refer back, just making a very big kind of a flashlight to all the way back in 2018. I'm curious on your thoughts on this. So you remember the MST, the shooting and everything?
Hold on. I'm having a hard time understanding you. Are you on speakerphone or something?
No, it's not earbud. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, referring back to 2018 with the Stoneman Douglas case, and I have some interesting thoughts on the fact that how come it's so weird to me nowadays that a lot of people just seem to forget that was it David Hogg, and how the fact that he it's just a fake, you know what I mean?
I didn't quite catch that. So what was the case 2018?
With the Stoneman Douglas, the MSD.
I'm not sure. I can't really understand you for real. To be totally honest.
You can't hear me right now?
I can hear you, but I can't really understand you. Like there's like I can't just but keep going, boss.
Anyway, so it's just I have an experience because I was in high school in that time, way back with the MSD event. And it was weird because right after when that all occurred, with my high school, I guess apparently they did a little protest march they planned on, and apparently when the march occurred, which I took advantage of, I just went straight home, but all the kids went straight to a police multi-complex and chanting gun control and stuff like that. And I was just like in my head, oh boy. So, yep, my school failed them because it's like, how are you going to say to them if they want change? You know what I'm saying? And, the fact that, I want, gun control, but yet, it's just, it's just, common sense ain't that common anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, caller, I got to get to some more calls, man. I can't really understand you. I'm sorry, man. Thank you for the call. I was trying, but I didn't hear a thing. I'm sorry, boss. I don't know what was going on, but I just couldn't understand them. I'm trying to it's like, I don't know. I don't really understand what was going on right there. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm sleepy. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, it sounds muffled. Yeah, so it's not just me. Yeah, okay. Like you got somebody said take off the sock. That's hilarious. 470, you're online with speaker 2.
You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.
ABL, hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta, where anything can happen anytime. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Good. Yeah, man. So much going on. I heard today that Trump revoked the temporary status for 530,000 legal border hoppers.
That's right.
That's great news. I'm loving it. The leftist media, propaganda media, the mainstream or mainstream media is really stirring up people into a frenzy. All these people that watch CNN, NBC, ABC, CNN, they're terrified that the Trump's trying to take away their Social Security, and it's a lie.
Yeah, it's the mainstream media making them afraid. It's the same thing they did the first time. It's no different. It's always the same playbook. And then my thing is, why are they still falling for it? I don't understand.
It's fear-mongering. And one of my neighbors down the hall, she's a rich lady. She's 89, 90 years old. She's had health problems for about 4 or 5 years at least. Super sweet lady. But she started railing against Trump. Oh, he's going to take my Social Security away. And you won't get it because I'm 30 years younger than her or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you won't get?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get my Social Security, and you will too." It's just ridiculous. I said he's pro-Israel. She's Jewish. I say he's pro-Israel. His grandkids are Jewish. Not Trump, of course. It said you should support Trump because he's pro-Israel, but she doesn't look at it that way.
Yeah, because she's believing whatever lies she's being told that are negative about Trump.
Right, but he also cut off $400 million to Columbia University because of that Khalil, whatever the hell that guy's name is. I don't care. I hate those people. And I'll be honest about it. The Palestinians that hate the Israelis, that hate the Jews, I don't care about them. Good, deport the asshole. I don't care.
My man,
cut them off.
You can't cuss on the show. You can't cuss now. Come on, you know better than that.
I'm sorry, I apologize. This is a family-friendly show. But she's Jewish. She should stand up for Trump because he's pro-Jewish. But she doesn't look at it that way. She's brainwashed by the mainstream media. As far as what's her name, Jasmine Crockett's concerned, calling Greg Abbott Hot Wheels because he's in a wheelchair is really, really tasteless. My brother wound up in a wheelchair as a quadriplegic at age 32 and lived in a wheelchair for almost 15 years. It got that way because he was involved in a tragic truck accident, and then he died tragically in his wheelchair. So, she needs to watch her damn mouth, That's just pathetic. So I have to disagree there. So, but anyway, yeah, man, I think Trump's doing a great job, and sorry for the cursing there for a moment. But, yeah, and so I continue to support him, and I say make America great again. I love what he's doing. What do you think with the tariffs and everything?
He's doing great. Whatever's happening right now, everything he's doing a good job.
Yeah, my stocks have gone up like I think $10,000-$12,000, and in just a short time period too, just like 6 weeks. So that's pretty good. I just can't wait for the gas prices and the food prices to come down, but that's going to take a while. It might be like 6-8 more months at least before we see a difference. It's going to take a long time to correct the screw-ups of Biden of 4 years. So, people need to be patient and realize that the economy is great under Trump for 4 years. It's going to be great again, even better under the second term. So that's all I want to say tonight. You have a great night. Be safe.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. Again, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That helps out tremendously. All righty. Let's go to 346 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 346, hello.
Hey, what's going on? This is Flat Tire.
All righty. What's happening, boss?
Hey, I just had a little thing that I was hearing about how they had the leaked information going on for the strikes in Yemen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do kind of forget that the U.S. and other countries have been actively bombing aid in Yemen for a couple of decades now. When I was on deployment in 2009, we called it ammo offload aid in Yemen when I was in the Navy. And that was 2009. And they were doing it since kind of like a retaliation of the USS Cole, if I remember correct, that happened in 2004. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. So they kind of do it here and there, and you don't really hear about it. But when I was in, I remember my family was emailing me saying, "Is that you guys out there?" And I was like, I can't answer that. That's all I can say about that kind of situation. So it's like they do it here, they do it there, and then every now and then you kind of hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, they've been fighting over there for forever, and the fighting will never stop. So a bombing in Yemen is like saying, okay, it was a sunny day in California. What's new?
Yeah, and the weird thing is like I said, folks kind of forget about it. It's been happening for a long time. I kind of agree with it. I kind of don't, because the sad thing is, anything like that, there are innocent people that get killed. But, I mean, what do you do with the other ones that want to come here and kill you or kill the people, their neighbors? Or I don't have any answer for any of that. I don't have no solution.
Right.
But That's really all I want to say. Thank you for taking my call, and have a good night, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
Let's go to 608. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. ABL, the man, the myth, the legend. It's good to hear your voice again, brother.
Right on, boss. What's happening?
So I wanted to come clean. Yes, I was once a skeptical man of Elon Musk. Like I watched some of his green energy movements, like the Hyperloop and a bunch of other stuff, and he was virtually hailed as the man to save the planet. How quickly the tides turn when those same green energy people immediately change their tune whenever they switch to the different political side that they disagree with.
Oh, of course.
It's a round of hypocrisy that unfortunately will always exist as long as there are sides.
That's always the thing. I see it all the time, and people just kind of ignore the hypocrisy sometimes.
It's very sad. However, if there's one thing that people could absolutely agree on, it's lower taxes on any spectrum of the economy can actually make the economy better.
Of course, like it's a thing people don't really understand, that don't understand economics, because taxes is so much taken out in taxes. If you just had that money, life would be a lot better. The economy would be a lot better. We can spend that money in a better way than the federal government can. The federal government will just burn our money right in front of us, send it to Ukraine, spend it on pet projects that don't make any sense. We can spend our own money better than they can.
Yeah, because they have no incentive to actually save that money, because they know they have the power to basically remove money from people through the power of taxes. I very much am part of the libertarian side of the aisle that says taxation is theft. I mean, think about this for a few minutes. Like, who else on any corner of the planet besides government can you basically say your donation is now voluntary? Like, not voluntary. Your voluntary donation is required.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I got that mixed up a little bit. But taxes, like cutting the bloat. That's the bread and butter of any business that's failing. Hey, I will always support cutting the bloat, and I think any other conservative can say the same thing. Like, granted, it's not great when people lose jobs, but after what Doge has reported, saying that so many people who are in the government basically are like either way older than they should be or haven't even been showing up to work, that's pretty much like a money drain. So why are people campaigning so hard to keep that stuff? When I say keep that stuff, I mean like loopholes that basically they allow them to keep funneling money into themselves. It's like so many big businesses have lost the incentive to actually make money and realize that they can buy favors from the government and make an even bigger profit. I mean, where's the point of capitalism at that point if you're just going to ruin competition for everyone? I'll tell you what that is. It's called oligarchy.
Exactly.
When you get I hate to say this with the word enemy, but the enemy for good people, sadly, is bigger corporations. Now, that doesn't mean they should be destroyed, but it means they need to be reined in. It means to be reined in, because a monopoly has never existed without some kind of government interference. Like, you could probably say, hey, we're the dominant species, therefore we get to subjugate. That can fall apart as soon as technology gets better. But like, there's been a talk in the Libertarian Party about the more regulations that are put in the way of people for businesses, the less competition there is, because think about how hard it is to start a business in this day and age with all the loopholes you have to jump through and all the stuff you have to pay.
Right. Absolutely.
Because like granted, if you want to do it right, that's perfectly fine. Like there are some stuff that makes sense, like inspecting your kitchen area to make sure it's sanitary. Yes, but recently it's been found that the board for like food safety has been used more as a cudgel against smaller time businesses rather than what it's supposed to do. Like the yes men diatribe, if you will.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call, man. I got a few more on the line I'm gonna get to. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller, and shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interways. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's go. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Nicole from Ohio.
All righty, what's happening?
Well, as far as the school, Department of Education, there's a thing called a FAPE, right, that protects special needs children. And it doesn't help them, number one. But the thing I think we need to do is bring back the county-ran MRDD schools, right? Because we're expecting all these public schools to transport all these special needs children, and they get private transportation at the public school expense. They're in regular classrooms, and we're letting the county agencies off the hook because we're funding them for the schools that we closed down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not paying for the schools, so why are we still paying them to pay for the schools?
Well, just getting that money, people just, a lot of the kickback against what's happening right now with Doge is people just want to keep getting their money. That's all.
Well, and the money that doesn't get used as far as the county level gets redistributed to the general funds and then never seen again. Okay, and as far as school choice, in my city, you can pick whatever school you want your child to go to. The lowest performing schools have the most special needs students, number one. But it is a mess to try to have all these children going all over the city. I mean, you're talking like 40 minutes away sometimes. If we just fixed our local schools, nobody would need that. Like, I think the school choice is a bad idea. Like, do you support it?
So you said what now? You said it's a bad idea to have school choice?
Yeah, it's a bad idea. Plus, once you go into like the charter schools and all that, you're giving up your right to due process.
But why would school choice be a bad idea?
Okay, well, people want to put their kids in a good performing school. We are making the special needs children take the standardized test when we know they're going to fail. They can be nonverbal and we're still going to test them. So the lower performing schools have most of those students. The higher ones have less. We need to group children together like we used to do. Like when we were younger, we weren't in class with somebody flapping in the corner.
But how was that? But like, what's it got to do with school choice? You're talking about like one piece of school choice, but I think that could be solved a different way. But why would that one piece of school choice make the entire issue of school choice bad?
Okay, well, I sued my school district for one, so I know a little bit about this, and I won, okay? Because they have to cater to the child with special needs, and that teacher can't give all of the other students the attention they need because all of their attention is going to one student. All of the special needs students, we have multiple meetings a year where we're pulling the teacher out, right? So when you're choosing to send your kid to a better school, if we separated those children, more people wouldn't have a reason to choose. Why else are we choosing other schools?
Okay. So why not just put special needs kids in a certain class in their school?
Well, I mean, that's one way to do it, but that's because there's forced inclusion, okay? It's called IDA. Around 2000s, early 2000s, it was decided to shut down the MRD schools and include all of these children. They call it inclusion, right? Equality. These kids deserve everything that all the other kids get. They might not want it, but they're still getting it. So what we need is a school just for them because they have medical issues. It's not good for the other students, ABL. It's just not.
So why not just do that and then problem solved?
Exactly. That's my point. And guess what? Now we're not paying the public schools to transport all these millions of kids in their own car, their own car. Like they get their own car by themselves. And the public schools are paying for it. And now we're letting the counties off the hook. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars just in every county. Because remember when we had the MRE schools?
Well, we don't have that. We don't have things like that out where I live. What state are you in?
Ohio. We used to have a county-ran special needs schools our property taxes went to the county to fund these schools. The schools provided the transportation. You know, the children had waivers through Medicaid and the state that provided the therapist and the PT and the OT and da-da-da-da-da. Now all of that is on the hook for your local public school.
Okay, so here's the solution then. The solution, you can still have school choice and a school for special needs kids.
And then guess what? Yep, amen. And then all the special needs parents, guess what they're going to do? They don't want their kids in regular class.
Oh, well.
They don't want them in regular school. So
look,
they get a choice too.
You can't always have what you want, because either way, you're not going to please everybody. If you don't have school choice, people are going to be mad about that. If you do have it, people are going to be mad about that. So the best thing to do would be the best thing for the kids. Have school choice, but at the same time, if you got kids that have special needs, put them in a certain school for them. I will also say, I will also say that there should be, do you guys have VOTEC out there?
Well, what does it call it? Oh, vocational? Yes.
Okay, so some kids, if they can't pass a certain test, if they can't read on grade level at a certain point, I would say really by the third grade, but to be fair, let's say by middle school time, 6th grade, if they can't read on grade level, they got to go to the VOTEC school. So either they're going to be special needs, or they're going to be VOTEC, or just regular kids. And the regular kids have their choice of where to go. Would that make sense?
Right. Yes, but I think you misunderstood me. Parents of special needs children would like to take their kids out, but we don't have the choice because the law says our children have to be in general ed classes.
I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, if we're going to change a law with school choice, let's change another law about the kids that go to the specific school is just for them. So you got to change more than just one law here. It wouldn't just be as simple as school choice. No, we got to have school choice and more. Probably got to change about 2 or 3 things.
It's already covered. We have FAPE, which is free, appropriate public education. That's already the law. But who's deciding what's appropriate? That's where it gets kind of tricky.
But hold on. You were saying that the school for special needs kids is no longer there, right?
They shut them down, right?
Okay, so what I'm saying is bring those back. You're saying you're saying there's a law that prevents it, but change the law. If we're going to change the law for school choice, change that law too. Problem solved.
You use the law against itself, right? That's what I did when I sued my district. You're not going to tell me that my son is appropriate for general ed. The law says appropriate. It's obviously not appropriate if they can't read. Well, write or speak.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I got limited time, so thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. I understand what you're trying to say, but I think she was not really. She's already kind of gone through a lot of this, what's going on. So in her mind, it's going to be one way. I'm presenting a solution from the outside, and it might be kind of hard for me to communicate that effectively. So the solution would be have different schools. You got vocational schools, you have special needs schools, alternative schools for the bad kids, and then regular schools. Most kids are going to be in the regular schools. Allow them to go to the school of their choice. And then I would say something else to make it more realistic. Have a test to go to certain schools. Let's talk about that part. Have a test. You want to go to a school that's not in your district, you got to test a certain way to be able to get admitted into that school, or a lottery system or something like this. There's ways to go about it, in my humble opinion. Let's keep on rocking. 781, you know line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, this is Peter from Boston. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Do you mind if I just add on just a little bit from that last caller that I have a little experience with myself with the schools and whatnot?
Go for it.
Well, I got a bachelor's degree in elementary education, and my time in the school, I really I really enjoyed observing behavior and stuff. And we had two kids in the class that I was in for all last year that were autistic. And the way it worked with them was they were in the class in the morning, and then they would get pulled, and they would all go to a special ed like area with all the special needs kids when during like math and like reading and all those subjects. But then when we had, at the end of the day, when they did science, when they did social studies, they would come back in the classroom. But the thing was, they were, high spectrum autistic, like making noises and having a hard time communicating, really couldn't communicate. And they had 2 paraprofessionals that were assigned to them that were always with them, not like, your full qualified teachers, but they were basically adults that had maybe certifications or whatever, and they would be by their side the whole day. And it was interesting because when those kids were in the classroom, it was difficult. And I don't care who you are. It was, oh, my kid's so great. It was difficult for all the standard learners to try to work with them, because it's difficult for adults that don't have experience with autistic kids to work with autistic kids, but it's extraordinarily impossible for children of the same age to work with autistic kids. It's just, I would watch them try, and they were sweet. They would try, they were trying their best, but it was not easy for them to work with these kids when they would come back into the classroom. They didn't know how to talk to them. They didn't know how to get things done. Their groups would lag behind. They were nervous when they had to present what they were putting together. They didn't really have completed things because one of their 3 members wasn't really contributing in any way, And then the kids themselves that were autistic didn't really like being in the classroom. Like, they felt like they were happier when they were with all the other special needs kids when they got pulled. That's what they preferred. They know that they learn differently. They know that they are different. And they rather be with more people like themselves. They felt self-conscious in the classroom where they know that their questions, what they were asking, weren't like normal questions. They know that they were having a hard time. Like, I'm not talking about, they're on IEP. A lot of kids are on IEPs. They need certain help with certain things. I'm talking like on the spectrum autistic, which, like, I don't know what it is, like 1 out of 20% chance of having an autistic kid nowadays. So going to what you were saying, I think that it would be very important to have schools that are just for those kids. I mean, there are some that might thrive in a regular classroom, and maybe they're high spectrum, and maybe they can communicate well. But it's easy for a trained adult educator to see the kids who don't do well in that environment, and those are the ones that hurt the classroom. And I hate to say it, but they hurt the quality of the classroom because they're distracting. They're making noises. They're jumping around. They're like, it's a tough thing to diagnose, but I saw it, and it's a real thing that needs to be addressed because there's so much autism nowadays, and the public schools are hurting because there's forced inclusion, like that other caller was saying, and it hurts some of the autistic kids. It hurts the standard learners. It hurts the teachers. It's a strain on the system, and something needs to be done about it, I think.
Well, there you go, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. So, yeah, I think I pretty much solved the problem. Like it needs to be a school for them, because if they're in a class with kids that are on a different level, you can't really. It's gonna be a distraction. Kids got to be on the same page. Who am I speaking to? 857, you're on the line.
Hey, what's going on, ABL?
What's happening?
What's happening? Hey, why you were saying that the judge that intervened in the case of the migrants sent to El Salvador, you were saying that he's some sort of activist. Why do you believe he's an activist?
I said what now? I said who's activist?
You say that the judge is an activist.
Oh, the activist judge. Yeah, because it's the same thing that was going on with Trump before he got elected the second time or the third time, whatever you want to say. All these court actions. Okay, you got this case against him, that case against him. It's just a bunch of BS to get in the way. I feel like it's the same thing going on right here.
Okay, so do you let's start step by step. First of all, I can't remember the name of the judge right now, but it was appointed by George W. Bush. So it's not an activist. It was elevated by Barack Obama. Let's just start with that, okay?
But you know, but okay, hold on. Like, so the judge, what judge you talking about?
The judge that intervened in the case that actually he told the Trump administration to halt all the deportation, not to deport any single person. And I explain to you why, if you allow me to.
Okay, so you're saying because he was appointed by George W. that he can't be an activist?
He's not an activist. He's never been an activist, Judge. He's not even a civil rights judge.
But how do you know? But what are you basing on? Just your opinion?
Okay, no, not my opinion. I'm basing it on facts.
What fact? How do you know? How do you know these not activists? That's just your opinion. I have my opinion. You have yours. What makes you right? Hold on. The question is, what makes you right and what makes me wrong here?
Because he's not an activist, because other people were deported and they didn't say anything. Other people were deported previous. Those people were sent to El Salvador. If you allow me to explain, you will understand. Go ahead. You're going to allow me to explain?
I say go ahead. Just keep on.
Okay. So do you know what is the Alien Enemy Act?
Man, look, we don't got all time for all this random obscure stuff, so man. Just get to it. Get to your point.
So what happened is the Trump administration is using an unconstitutional declaration to expel people out of the country. That is unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional because only can use a declaration of war what we used in World War II against the Japanese when Japan invaded Pearl Harbor. That's called the Alien Enemy Act. He used that to send people to El Salvador, Venezuela to El Salvador, without due process, without charging them. That's unconstitutional. Every American is presented to be innocent until proven guilty. Every person living in the United States, that's what to say, regardless of the immigration status. So the judge say, hey, you are sending people to this XYZ country. You are not giving any charge. So the judge demanded the Trump administration to request the information of the charges, and the Trump administration said, no, this is secretly. We couldn't allow you to do that because they are terrorists, considered to be terrorists. So therefore, he say, hey, you know what? You got to send those people back here, and I will deal with them. Does the judiciary deal with people that been caught, that been done felonies and so on? That's what you have. That's how we have three branches of government, you know. So the executive branch can expel people out of the country without being removed by a judge. So that's the reason that he said, hey, you know what? You can't do that. You can't just send people and expel them out of the country without due process. That's unconstitutional. I want you to hold all the deportation. And the Trump administration keeps sending people to El Salvador without due process. He just sent 2 more planes, and those planes were sent back to the United States. That is the reason that he says, not because he's an activist, not because whatever you believe, and it's only you, all you guys, the twin brothers, another one called the Right Perspective, and I asked every single one of them, do you know what is the Alien Enemy Act is? No one could answer. So, in other words, listening to YouTubers is a really waste of time. Hello? You there?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Listening to YouTubers is not productive. Okay. You are not really getting properly educated.
But yet, you've been calling me for years, so I can't tell.
I call you because I need to correct
But yet, you're listening to me for years, so it must not be a big waste of time for you.
Well, what I'm saying is a waste of time for the audience that are not learning. What they're doing, you triggering in their emotions. You were saying, well, you know, it's an activist, doesn't want Trump to deport people. Well, Trump has caused more problems. Look, listen to this. Obama deported 3.5 million people. Do you hear anything about sanctuary cities when Obama deported all those people?
About what now?
About sanctuary cities. Do you hear anything about sanctuary cities issues? Any issue with sanctuary cities?
Oh, we say sanctuary cities.
Yes.
Well, the time.
You hear anything of that nature? Any problem?
No. But the time was different. You're comparing apples to oranges because also during Obama's time, you did not hear about all these planes going into the country with loads of migrants to New York, to Denver, Colorado, to Chicago. That was not happening under Obama. That's why we're talking about sanctuary cities now, is because the migrants flooded us and were sent right to those places because of sanctuary cities. That was not happening under Obama.
Well, you got the whole scenario wrong. You got the whole scenario wrong. Ohio is not there's not a single place in Ohio with the sanctuary cities, and the same place.
Did I mention Ohio?
No, it's not a sanctuary city.
So what are you talking about? I did not mention Ohio.
But that's what I'm saying. Let me explain to you. They send a plane full of Haitians to there. I explained to you like a million times what a sanctuary city is. I'm not going to explain to you again.
What are you talking about?
I'm not going to do it.
You're creating a straw man. I said nothing about Ohio having sanctuary cities. You said
because
that.
They send a plane full of Haitians to Ohio.
Who said that?
Hold
on, wait. Who said that?
I said that. You said it. This is true.
But so why are you telling me about it? I didn't say it. You said it.
I'm telling you because you keep mentioning sanctuary city. Sanctuary city has nothing to do with migrants.
I did not, sir. I did not say that Ohio had sanctuary cities. You just made that argument up and just faded it on your own.
You said that during the Trump administration, during the Obama administration, they were not sending planes to sanctuary city. That has nothing. Sanctuary city has nothing to do.
See, look, now you're just making up. Now you're making up stuff. I said specifically. I said Denver, Colorado, Chicago, Illinois, and New York, New York. These are sanctuary cities. You said Ohio. Excuse me, sir. You said Ohio, not me. So your argument just completely fell apart. Matter of fact, have a good night. Ohio? Anybody say Ohio had sanctuary cities? Bro, I said specific places. Chicago, Denver, New York. These are sanctuary cities. Everybody knows it. And sanctuary states. Ohio, they could have came to Ohio any kind of way. I ain't said there was a sanctuary. I mean, these guys, man. All right. 331. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Les.
All right, Les, what's going on?
Nothing. I finally was able to get on. Your new setup is it's different, but I get why you're doing it because I think you mentioned Skype's gonna go out like May something, right?
Yeah, it'll be gone in May. So once Skype goes away, my number will go away too. So I have no choice.
Oh man, that sucks. It was a good setup with the Skype. So it's fine though. I mean, I understand you have to move with the times and it's crazy. So I just want to go ahead and comment real quick about who was it? Scott Jennings on I forgot what news station?
CNN.
CNN, there we go. So I actually want to give him a lot of props for calling out that woman. I don't recall, I don't remember what the woman's name is. That's how you could tell I'm like so not disconnected with it, but I obviously don't watch it, right? But it was so good that he called her out on what she said. And it's crazy how, and I hear this a lot now, where all these fake news media outlets are over here crying like, oh, it's very inhumane how they're being all these criminals, these migrant gang members are being sent to these inhumane conditions in the prison in El Salvador. And you want to know something, ABL? I think that's the best thing President Trump could have done in regards to how to handle these dangerous, criminal, illegal gang members. And to be quite honest with you, ABL, I know this is a little extreme, but if you're breaking our laws and you're coming here illegally, maybe you need a little taste of that too, so you don't, commit any more crimes on breaking our border next time. I don't know. I don't know if that's a little too extreme. What do you think?
Nah, I agree with you. I'm right on it because there's got to be some kind of deterrent to say, you know what, don't do that. And if you do it, this is going to be the result.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sick. I'm reading the comments. I've been fighting a cold. And it's crazy, Abel, because 2 weeks ago we all had the flu. So I'm like going crazy right now. I'm like, what the heck, right? I'm like, what the heck? Now I got a cold, but hopefully it clears up, right? because it's just getting so annoying, and I'm so ready for warm weather. Because with warm weather, usually nobody gets sick with the flu and the cold anymore.
Right.
But I think that is the best thing that we can possibly that is the best thing that President Trump has done so far in regards to handling the illegal immigration, well, the illegals coming in, right? I think that what who was it? Your previous caller, Ivan. He was saying that well, they're not getting any due process, but then yet again in the same sentence, he's saying, oh, well, the Americans do. Like, yeah, sir, because we're Americans, we are entitled to that due process because we are born here. We have those rights. That constitutional right does go ahead and apply to us. When you are an illegal individual breaking our laws, you're coming into this country illegally, you are not and should not be afforded those same rights that we Americans do. So I wanted to go ahead and clarify that. I want to thank you for taking my call. God bless you, ABL. God bless the chat, and the little patriots want to say good night. Good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all.
Take care, ABL. Bye bye.
Shout out to the youngins. Youngins always good. Shout out to Les for the call. Most certainly appreciate you. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. But yeah, the illegal aliens, man, they got to get up out of here. Out, out, out. That's what I say. That's pretty much where I'm at with that. All right. I think that'll be a wrap for me. I think that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me. Blame the white man. It ain't my fault. But I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Y'all know I could not do the show without y'all. So thank y'all for joining. And of course, you guys check out the other channel, Uncle ABL. I am posting on there again. Yes, I am. And I will be consistent. I promise. Scout Signer. I don't know how you do that. Y'all know. Y'all know the thing. But I'm over there, Uncle ABL. I'm also on Rumble with this content here. The same old YouTube content. If you want to see it on Rumble, I got that for you. I'm also on Instagrams. Facebook is really jumping right now. Facebook is good. TikTok, I'm on there as well. I'm everywhere. You can find me. The website, anthonyblogan.com. All my links will be right there in the box below the video. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. But again, that'll be a wrap for me. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chat, and I couldn't do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that'll be a wrap. I got super chats to read. I'll read those right quick, and then I'll wrap it on up and put the bow on top. Where are we at? Hold on. Let me see if I can I get this to load or nah? All right, YouTube, wanting to get in the way. Let me do a quick refresh of this screen. Yeah, YouTube likes to bog my browser down for no reason. All right, I think we're good here. Let me go back. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, I got a couple names for Jasmine and she likes nicknames so much. How about Crooked Wig Sally? I read that one. Shout out to you, Blast Radius. Thank you to Jaleisha, who says, hey, ABO, the bad wig comment. I'm giggling. Love the show tonight. What do you think about that one leader of the board doing the Noose thing as if Juicy didn't teach him a lesson? I mean, people think they could do it better than the other one. They think that, oh, he didn't do it right. He just was kind of sloppy. He had the Nigerians. Oh, this is my girl country. Yeah, this is my girl country. This is cool today. She thought I could do better than him. He over here with these Nigerians. But what she wound up doing was worse, which is what it's always like that. They think they can do better than the previous failed hoaxer, and they wound up doing worse. They had DNA on the Noose, and it was the only person who touched it was her, which is crazy. Shout out to All Natural, who says, ABL, I heard what you said about the late Godfather of Soul. I feel good. RIP James Brown, the triple OG. Thank you to Virginia the Godmother, who says, I just want to know who gave Ivan ABL's new phone number. That's funny. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I'll be back live again, of course, on Saturday, but I'm here all throughout the week putting out that good old content. Y'all follow me on my social media, follow me on the website, follow me on the Twitters, follow me everywhere. But that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.